Alright,
Someone
well,
mute
I'm
all
going to
the sappers.
start with a real quick recap, because it's been a while for you guys, and I don't think a lot of the time it'd be
What's
that
happened?
easy to remember. What's happened recently? Your party was collecting your keeps after messing with the Deck of Many Things. You went and freed multiples of them, including Palmaflora, the mercenary outpost outside of Port Damali, and then went over to get Broken Bank for Eden. You, while there, found a large lighthouse-like structure, which you assumed was your keep. Figuring out there was a lich that had some oddities about how he called himself Dim because he was copying someone else, and how he was trying to make it seem like a game, this combat was about to happen, and he was preparing for a fun fight, more or less, as if he was trying to do something stereotypical, in an odd way. Most people don't think like that in actual combat. You then fought the Lich after William went insane and decided he really, really needed that phylactery right that instant. At which point he was teleported to the Feywild before the Lich was dispatched. You then teleported around, hit a Luxon in Palmaflora, and teleported to the Feywild with 2 scrolls. You went there, talked to a kid for a long time, eventually found your way to find William, fought, and many of you died. At which point you use one of your 2 plane shift scrolls to teleport back to Caleb's tower, and using a mix between magic items and spells from your cleric and William, you managed to revive all of your party members, resulting in slightly higher DCs next time they die, but other than that, they're okay. You spoke with Caleb for a moment, I believe, but not really, after he revealed that Jester was nowhere to be found here. She was likely on the sea at the time. And eventually found your way to the tavern, at which point all of you went to bed after some antics, and realized that the Lich would resummon itself that night. We're also going to assume, at some point in time, that when you cast Wish to make William immune to Charm, someone cast Remove Curse on him to get that amulet off him, otherwise that's a wasted wish, and he would just go back to being insane. The Lich appeared, had a conversation, disguised itself, and is now more or less biding its time, hopefully trying to get back its phylactery a peaceful way, not in the way that revolves around him dying, as he doesn't particularly want to be banished again and or have to go back to the Feywild. This is the next morning, after talking to that Lich, and the sun never rises, as is custom in the Kreen dynasty of Rosohna. You guys have the day at your disposal, but there's not a whole lot for you to do in this city, as far as I understand. But if you'd like to do anything, you can.
Could I have woken up, like, really early in the morning?
Sure.
So pretty much the time whenever we woke up and got woken up from, the Lich, pretty much around that time, whenever the time was.
Yeah.
I will go to Nimi's door and knock on it.
I'll answer it.
You answer it? Can you, come meet me outside in a couple minutes? I need to have a talk.
Of course. Of course.
Alright. I will go outside and sit at a bench somewhere. Wait for her to come out.
Alright, a few minutes go by, and you meet outside the tavern.
You see William's sword is stabbed into the ground, and he's holding it while sitting at the bench. And he doesn't look at you, but he starts talking. So... Are we good now? Are we gonna have a fight soon? Cause like, I'm really confused about what's about to happen.
It's mostly
Anything?
up to you.
Well, no, it's not to me. I won't start the fight. But it's up to you. We could have this fight now, later, I have no idea. Or have no
Sure.
fight. So,
Even have a fight.
what'd you say?
Why even have a fight?
Well, I don't want a fight. But I have a feeling that might be be a case soon that we have to fight. And you do feel like a cold sensation through your body when he says that. So he finally looks back at you. Your choice. He raises out his hand. Shake it. We're good. If you don't, one day I have a feeling best fighter wins.
I shake your hands.
Okay. I won't start the fight, but if you ever come at me, I'll have to defend myself.
Fair enough.
And glad to have you back.
Same to you.
Alright. I just had to get that off my mind. But a feeling of a weird sensation. So, just making sure. Well, have a good rest of your night. And you see his blade vanish. He walks in with you. And I go back to bed.
Alright. Time passes, and eventually the rest of you will also awaken, and your morning routines happen as usual. The city is yours, and I don't know what you're doing. That's up to you guys.
I'll just be... Oh. Hello?
Hello?
No,
Why did you
I
go
just
hello?
had it. I unmuted for a second.
My mic... No, I
It's
wasn't
because
just your
he saw mine.
I might cut out completely anyways. Don't worry
Oh,
about
okay.
it.
Alright.
I'll just be sitting at the tavern eating some breakfast. Just a whole bunch of fish.
So what are the rest of y'all doing?
Skins. Skins isn't going to be waking up for a bit, so Eden, Chase, you guys want to do anything? Or Nim?
Godwin will be downstairs eating as well.
I probably should get that.
Okay. So everyone just goes and starts eating.
Yep.
Alright, cool. Where does it progress from there?
We go back to bed.
Oh, sure. Alright, you guys just start spending
Next
weeks. You're time-lapsing through reality right now. Day and night flashing on and off with the clap of your hands.
I'll be right back,
Alright.
and I will go and knock on Skins' door.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. It does open. It does open, and instead of you do see Skins, though his eyes are a bit sunken in, and you kind of see bags under his eyes a little bit. It's like, what, William? What do you want?
William's like kicking the ground a little bit and just looks at you like, we need someone to give us something to do. We just ate breakfast about 2 hours, didn't speak. So, what's our first plan?
Okay, alright. Just give me a minute, I'll be downstairs. And then Skins is gonna close the door, start pretty much getting his stuff on, grabbing his stuff, and then he'll eventually, in a minute, we'll go downstairs, look at everyone. Alright, so good to know that you guys already ate. Sorry, I'm a bit out of it today. It's kinda, it's fine. Don't worry about me, I'll be okay.
Well,
Anyway,
is Godwin here?
Yes, I mean, you guys have no reason not to.
Yeah,
be.
We're all here. We're all
Okay.
here.
yeah, we're all downstairs at this point.
Well, feelings aside, we need to find out what we are doing today.
Well, I alone want to go speak with my mom, but afterwards, what are we doing as a party? We could go get my ships. If we really want to do that, we can go to Aor, because I know we don't have to do something there. We can go help the Flame Blade. Anything else? We could go to Port Damali, get the people that's still stuck at the Feywild. There are a couple options.
Let's Skins will kind of like pause for a second, but then like we'll snap out of it. You kind of see him shake awake a little bit. Let's try and kill 3 birds with 1 stone. We're all going. Well, the plan is to go to Aor for Godwin, but we also have to go for William's boat, and we do have to help the Sunblade of the Fated Few. I'm sorry. He kind of looks at the sword. Or if it's holstered, it's like I forgot his name. It's anyway.
I told
So-
you I don't have a name. I told you I'm not a human anymore. I don't need a name. That's what I said
Nice.
before. I'm the Sunblade now. I'll pick a new name if you ever,
Right.
get around to helping me, like you said you would. I don't know, 6 months ago.
We're trying.
And we're trying. We'll do that soon, possibly now, because we need to go up there anyway. I heard somewhere that maybe Caduceus could help us with finding this Dusk family, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. We'll have to go get the necklace off. I think.
Did you ask this blade something? I didn't hear what you said.
No, I just said I also have to get this necklace off.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can take the necklace off with a simple remove curse.
You already had that off.
Yeah, it is no. Since you are no longer charmed, they are able to cast, and you are no longer. It was no longer active. You are able to just remove curse it and take off that amulet. Oh, you're talking about the lich. There on. Sorry.
I'm trying to get off the necklace and give it, because that's the thing that the lich wants.
Yes, I thought you were talking about the other one.
I'm trying to give it to him soon. That's what I'm trying to do. Something.
Actually, your goal is to take that. You know you need to take that to Aor.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Wait, William, you said you had to meet your mom. Where is she? What?
She's just somewhere a little bit away from here, just not too far. She's in this place. I just need to go talk with her for a little bit alone.
Okay. I guess we can wait a little bit. I mean, we need to ask Caleb to see where Caduceus is anyway. I don't even remember where he is. Godwin, would you be willing to talk to Caleb about that? Because you two seem to be a lot more closer than the rest of us.
I will try.
Alright,
Continue
just
your
a
feelings,
reminder.
What?
We're just trying to find Caduceus. A man named Caduceus. Part of the Mighty Nine, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wait, why are we looking for Caduceus again?
He knows where the Dust family is,
we're-
and that's what the sword wanted you to go find.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, finding these people was on the way to Aor as well. So we'll
In
be
a
going in the
way,
direction of Aor.
Not really. It's entirely. It's still on. Like the thing you're trying to search for now is on the continent, whereas Aor and Isocross in general is a separate island area. So yes, if you had a boat you could also bring, it would be on the way. But right now you would probably have to go up
Yeah, well-
there, come back down, find a boat, and then sail back up again.
Well, I mean, we're also going up there to find the boat anyway. find a boat anyway. Because,
yes, but that is on
specifically
the
William's
island of. You need a boat to get to the boat because it is an island off the island made of just boats.
we'll get a boat somehow.
Yeah.
Anyway. Also, by the time we probably get up there by on foot, it'll probably be the teleportation circle of Palma. Oh wait, no, we haven't even seen it yet. So
Yeah,
it doesn't
you have to
matter.
be
Anyway,
there to get that one.
kill yourself.
Trent, go look what I sent you, and text me back.
Okay.
All right, so
What does that mean?
I guess
What?
What does that mean, Damien?
What do you mean?
Okay, sure.
I told you she's gonna be that class.
That class? I don't even understand what you're talking about right now.
The Baker class I told you.
Uh-huh, I know that one. Why are you just naming off cats?
That's the cat names.
Okay, sure.
So whenever I say a
Okay.
random word, don't be like
crazy
"What?"
cat lady. Okay. All right. Anyway. I guess the rest of us, if we have any business here, if you guys want to go like shopping, specifically you, he points at BL and them. I don't really have anything else to shop for. And then Skins is gonna look at Lionheart. He bought himself some stuff, so he doesn't have to go anywhere. I'll probably just sit here, and if I'm not here, then find me at the nearest magic shop, I guess. And then Skins is just gonna sit down. Just like gently rub his head.
How much are those shields that like just float around you? Like you don't have to hold them, and they give you the AC bonus.
Animated shields?
Yeah.
I think those are legendary or at least very rare. So 50,000 minimum, I believe.
I'm pretty sure animated shields are just rare, Trent. I think you're overestimating.
Are they? I don't know. I thought they were very rare. If they're rare, that's 5,000. Because I'm just going to charge you the max for each of those because AC is extremely important.
Is very rare.
Then 50,000.
Also, it is very rare.
See, Sean? I'm right. Big brain me. Also, yes, Edie.
That's 50,000
And
gold.
James, you guys haven't seen that map. If you click on it and zoom in real close, there's Border Hell in like the middle section. You can kind of just tell a little bit. There's a huge mush of little city-states or whatever. It's a map of Europe. I'm going to rework that mush in the middle, and more or less that's going to be your setting for the next campaign I run. Is the fall of the Holy Roman Empire, and you guys are people there.
I like how it's so funny. You have to zoom in just to see all the fucking little tiny countries in there.
Mm-hmm. I have a way to see it bigger because it's in my files, and I'm able to zoom in, but you guys can't because it's Discord.
Alright, this is a slow start, but it's been a month. It's been a month break.
Yeah, it's almost like you guys haven't thought about what you're doing in a month.
Let's pump up. I think we did. I think I just forgot. 'Cause I mean, I know what we're pretty much going to be doing for like at least like the base. We're going to do Faded Few Blade first. Try and go up there for the boat, and then go to Isocross for Godwin. That's pretty much what we got down so far. At least what I remember.
Alright. Well, how do you plan to achieve this at the moment? Since you guys were talking about finding Caduceus and or needing to find a boat, Osana is landlocked. The only place you know that's close to the ocean is like the Menagerie, or if you go to Rexingtrum, if it's way closer if you go to Rexingtrum. But you also have to go to Shady Creek Run to get Caduceus, because that's where Caleb had told you that's where Caduceus was, in his grove.
Oh, so you already told us. Never mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, you already know where Caduceus is. You've asked about Caduceus a few times. I think Caduceus and Caleb both told you that he lives in Shady Creek Run.
Alright, my fault. So Godwin doesn't have to go do that. Alright. I mean, I guess we could just head back to the menagerie and get a boat there and
I mean,
try and... Shady Creek Run isn't by the sea, is it?
no, Shade
So
Creek
we
Run
can't take a
is
boat up there.
as north
It'd
as
be
you can
close
get
to-
of the Dwendalian Empire without it being a new place.
And it's not by sea, so... Alright.
You're gonna probably have to walk
Okay,
there
so
unless
we-
you can somehow get your boy Rias to give you a teleportation circle into his main hideout.
I'm not touching him! He's Raul Menendez for me, bro. I'm Woods, he's fucking Raul Menendez.
I
No
don't
one's gonna
get
get
that
that joke,
joke.
probably. Anyway,
Nope.
it's because you don't play campaign.
I recognize those names. Haven't
Anyway.
played in years.
Okay, let's see here. Alright, so what do you fellas think? Should we just head to Shady Creek Run and have the chance of possibly meeting Rias for the 50th time, but we did make a promise for the Sunblade, or should we just fuck the Sunblade and just go for the boats and Isocross?
Bro, Godwin doesn't even think the Sunblade is real.
No.
Bro,
That's
he
true.
will, I
That's
tell
fair.
you, bro. God, wow. Serious, man. He exists.
Real
He
dude.
speaks. Bro, he speaks, bro.
So we know Godwin's vote. Biel, and then what are your thoughts?
Jesus did the dishes.
Chase has no thoughts. Biel
Chase-
says, whatever you guys think.
Chase has to do the dishes. Is what Eden said.
He's already doing the dishes.
And
That's
then
why
Chase
he's
said it.
Oh, okay. So I didn't read that, so that's my fault, homie. All right. So what is Dr. Fennell's advice? What is her choice? Actually, why don't we just leave him? Why don't we just leave the Sunblade with Caleb? Don't bother.
I mean, yeah. Also, why not just keep it? It can't do anything to hurt you. It is literally only a benefit, and it is relying 100% on you to even help it. Like, you don't have to do it if you don't want to.
I say.
Okay,
get my
okay.
boats
I
done.
wasn't thinking that.
I was thinking getting my boats done, but whatever you guys decide.
I don't really feel like going back to Shady Creek Run anytime soon, so I think you're gonna help him, but I feel like it's best that Caleb takes it to Caduceus, as well. He knows how to get to Caduceus, and he probably has some way to get there faster than we can, so we could probably take it to him. Skins is gonna touch the Sunblade, and then it's like, I don't know if you heard that, but would you be okay with that? Caleb is a very trustworthy person, and he knows the person who can get you to the people who can change you back.
It'll respond in a kind of non-committal. I guess I don't really have a choice, really. But I mean, you at least would be getting me there, and probably giving me more progress than if I stayed with you. Because, like I said, 6 months have passed after that promise. Not got anywhere near close where I needed, as far as I know. So I'm kind of fine with it, because I think if you think they're trustworthy, that means they might actually help. You know what I'm saying? I'm honestly kind of mad at you guys at this point. We haven't even talked in months. You guys haven't even realized that you still need to talk to me. I am going insane inside of this sword. You know?
Well, we couldn't talk to you for a few. Well, Williams probably talked to you a lot because we don't hold the sword that much. I mean, maybe Biel did, but anyway. Either way, we'll finally get some help, and for any damages, you are free to come to Palma Flora at any point you want. You'll have a residence there for free if you'd ever decide to move to Palma Flora for any reason.
Sure.
Alright. Skins is gonna like grab the sword for a moment. He's like, wait, I don't know where Caleb is, and he's gonna turn around to Godwin. Godwin, do you know where Caleb is?
1 sec. Okay, I'm back.
Technical issues. Welcome.
Sure. Well, if I were to assume it would be back in his house, but I have a teleportation circle there.
Alright, Skins is gonna look at Godwin, still having the bags under his eyes, but you see him thinking for a moment, and you kind of understand the battle between. It's like Godwin doesn't believe this sword can fucking talk. Is it smart to leave this sword to Godwin, who doesn't know this thing can talk?
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Could you take this sword to Caleb, please?
Skins, I do not know why you have kept this joke up this long. Frankly, it wasn't funny the first time. But, for you, if it makes you happy, I will take the sword to Caleb.
Okay, and then Skins is going to mentally speak to it. It's like, okay, look, he thinks this is a joke. Please tell him that it's not a joke. Otherwise, you probably might get thrown away and never be found again. And then Skins is going to just gently hand the sword to Godwin so he can go take it to Caleb. Just meet us back here, I guess. And then we'll just go ahead and get ready for the journey back to the menagerie, I guess. I mean, I guess we can take the Dwindle route, but just be closer. Anyway, I want to just sit down for a bit. And Skins is just going to go back and sit back down. And just steel rub his head and stuff. He seems completely out of it today.
Alright, so are you just gonna walk by yourself over to Caleb's tower?
Yeah. I'm gonna use sending to let him know I'm on my way.
You use sending, messaging Caleb. And then head for the small 10-minute trek at most across town. You did just barely find a tavern in the upper side of town, so it is a little bit of a trek to actually find your way back to the more high-class area that Caleb lives in. About halfway there, the Sunblade does actually speak in your mind. First time it's ever done this, and you're surprised, but what it says is extremely worrying. You're being followed. I have tremor sense. I can sense the things around. Someone's following you.
How many?
Just one as far as I can tell, and strangely light.
Understood.
And instead of continuing on his destination to Caleb's in order not to lead whoever this is to Caleb, Godwin is going to take a turn into an alley.
Okay. You just start heading, just kind of weaving your way through the more rich area of town, finding your ways just generally away enough so as not to lead them to Caleb. Make a perception check to try and spot who's following you in a non-suspicious manner. If you fail,
Okay.
you would have to do it suspiciously.
I have to use MRPG because I forgot my dice at home.
Big
Zach.
knowledge, big knowledge.
So it's just perception.
Yes.
Did I just hear the Prowler theme?
Yes,
I
you
heard
did.
that too.
I opened Instagram and it started playing this. And it says, me watching
4.
my apprentice cast Fireball
Oh.
himself. I can't interfere. It's a canon event. I'll
Oh
just go
no!
through. 4. You can't spot who's following you. Uh,
Immediately.
The blade seems to have a better idea of... Because it doesn't have to turn its head. It just kind of senses around it. You do understand that they're not following too closely. They're trailing about 80 foot behind. But you can't get a look at them. You also understand they seem to be... even with the poor sight, the clothing you see doesn't exactly match the area. Maybe they're an outsider. Maybe they're specifically trying to wear something that isn't Korean Dynastian. Maybe they're just weird fashion sense. But there's something wrong about their outfit. It doesn't look it doesn't have the same colors. But other than that, you can't tell about what it is or who they are. You just know they're sticking about 80 foot behind.
Okay.
Are you weaving your way back to the lower streets where the more common people of the city would live?
Yeah.
Okay. You weave deeper into the city, just kind of meandering your way about as if you're going on a daily run, finding your way closer to a potion shop you may have found earlier. Just trying to give an impression that you weren't going somewhere in specifics. The figure keeps following you. Unless you do something or stop somewhere, you figure it's going to keep doing that.
Okay. I'm going to find the nearest shop of any kind and just dip in.
You head into that basic magic item shop, potion item shop. It's just a simple store, simple person running it. They just everyday shopkeeper in this city. No special reason to go into extreme detail, more or less.
So, as soon as I step past the door and close it, are there any windows in sight?
The only windows you can see are the front display windows. That would be, showing through the windows, like, oh, look at this magical set of armor or whatever. However, that's only on one side of the shop, so you could cut line of sight by just heading to the other side of the shop.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut line of sight, and then I'm going to disguise self,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna walk out of the shop to see if that helped me lose them.
You cut line of sight, disguise self, and turn back out of the shop. And as you go to exit, you see the figure, and now you're looking at them directly, and you see they're extremely familiar. You know why they don't look exactly the same as everyone else around here, and that is because they are technically from the outreaches of the Empire. You see what looks to be Rias walk in and bump, and he grins at your disguise. You know Rias has eyes that pierce most spells, especially as he's growing more powerful. You see the piercing blue gazing up and down your entire outfit and just kind of smiling at you before backing off, giving a short bow. He keeps his distance, though. It's like he keeps a solid 5 to 10 foot away from you after bumping into you.
Okay, so as soon as I know it's Rias, Godwin kind of figures there's not really danger, and so he immediately just drops the disguise and then keeps going to where he's going.
You drop the disguise and just keep walking. At this point, Rias, he hasn't said anything yet, but you hear him mutter behind you. You can't quite hear what he's saying, though. He seems to be tapping his legs, he's muttering, and just begins to keep that now far closer distance, 10 foot away from you, following distance.
Okay, Godwin's gonna turn around and stare at him. What
As
do
you
you
turn
want?
around, you hear the muttering more in detail, and you see the tapping that he's doing is actually moving his fingers in a detailed manner. He immediately casts Disintegrate on you. Now let me see exactly what saving throw you need to make for this. But he casts Disintegrate directly on you with no warning, no conversation. Very unlike the man you know.
So is there no chance for counterspell?
You can counterspell, but he'll counterspell you.
Do you have a wish left? The sword does.
The sword does. The sword will only use that if he dies, kind of thing, or is going to die. Let me see. What do you need to make a save for? Dexterity save, my friend.
I do not believe I am too good at those.
Probably
Shoot,
not.
bro. What's your health at?
Oh,
But it should be
60.
max. Ooh, you
I know,
actually
but what's your health?
You can't die, I don't think. Or you could, actually.
What's your health at? Oh. What's your max?
my max is 66. That's what I'm at.
Oh no.
Splitting the party,
Yeah.
first thing, might not have been, too good for you guys. Okay, so 4... You're good, I don't think you can die. How much did you say, 64?
66.
66, okay. It only dealt 62, so it was actually surprisingly low on the number of dice damage dealt. You're actually... I didn't realize Disintegrate just kills you straight up, and you can't even be revived because you don't have a body. But you're lucky because you have how much ever HP, because it dealt 62 force damage to you.
I have 4 HP left.
Keep in mind, what was the saving throw? What'd you roll?
I rolled a 10.
You fail, obviously. So,
Yeah.
it does 62 force damage. Azrius, after muttering, and you see his left hand was just slightly casting a spell. Almost like he doesn't want to talk to you, or is just trying to commit an assassination for unknown reasons. He casts Disintegrate, something that would have a high possibility of killing you, but you manage to duck enough out of the way that instead of entirely disintegrating you, it just catches a large portion of your left side and arm, and it's painful, and obviously you're missing a good portion of your body, but it isn't actually severing an arm or cutting your heart out and disintegrating the rest of your body. And you see he stops there and looks a little bit confused at the fact that you survived, and it's just staring at you. It is your turn to act in some way you would like. You're basically in combat with this figure now.
Okay.
By the way, at the start of your turn, I actually would like you to make an investigation check for me.
Alright.
That is a strange ask for a round of combat, but in this case, it is important.
Okay, so immediately I am going to wear Tiger Transform.
Okay, you immediately bonus action wear Tiger Transform.
Yeah. One sec.
Shoot, bro, you should have took one of us.
I love starting the first session after a month with nearly immediately permanently killing a character.
I mean, we wouldn't have known. We would have never known.
Yeah!
And then... Oh, man. I have one shot at this.
Is there a way you can get out of there, or do you have to? Is the only way you have is to kill?
I can Dimension Door, but I don't know if that's going to get me far enough away to matter.
He'll counter spell it anyways, so you have to waste another slot.
Yeah, he would have to
I'll be
waste
right
several
back.
spell slots to get away. You also know that he is a wizard in the same vein you are. If you have enough instant damage, you might be able to disintegrate him or kill him in some other way. That's probably why he figured it would take you out in one blow. Is because you're not trained in dodging spells that easily. You're usually counterspelling or just taking it and casting another in exchange.
Yeah.
Do you have a way to get? Do you have a way to insta kill this man?
I could 5th level Blight.
What'd you get on that investigation check, okay?
Oh, dude, I completely forgot to
Yeah.
make...
Dude, I think we're all in shock right now.
Dude, I'm scared.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm in shock, bro. I heard Rias disintegrate. Nah, bro.
I got a 25.
25. You can strangely sense there are multiple layers of illusion on this figure. You can only see through a few of them. Some of them are strangely more porous than others. You know that this is a simulacrum. You know there is other illusion magic, but you can't tell what that magic might be. So you can see through the illusion that is the simulacrum, but not the other part. And you don't know what it is. Keep in mind, as you know from William and how he can tell his spells work, simulacrums are half as strong as their masters. So, if Rias is as doubly as strong as you, then he would be the exact same HP you have. This simulacrum would.
Okay.
Bro, you gotta do your biggest thing you can possibly do.
You also can tell that Rias isn't 100% doubly as strong as you. You are he's at best 1.5, 1.7%
Okay.
stronger than you.
If I do 5th level blight, I do 98.
max.
So
right?
that's 82 damage max.
Do you think that would be enough cut in half? If you do the average is what you're looking for. Really.
41, 40 something.
Remember, you're 10th level now. You have 5th level spells.
That's what he's talking about. Wait,
I have Cloud Kill as an attack spell. I was trying to get Wall of Stone too, but that wouldn't really help me in
what
this
about a triple
situation.
fireball?
Question is, do you want to attack or do you want to try and flee? Do you think that that could, with its average of 40, deal enough damage to take out this simulacrum?
Well, I'm hoping the 36 HP I just healed will give me some buffer time.
What about a 5th level fireball? How much damage does that do?
I don't think more than one
No.
sec.
Probably not. Fireball is
8.
usually better when area of effective.
Yeah, 8. Fireball will only be able to do like 50 something damage max.
Yeah.
54.
Man, do whatever you gotta do, bro, 'cause we can't help unless you send like a message to us.
Even if they
Give it-
did, he's 5 minutes away from the party, moving at average speed.
5
So-
minutes away from the party.
Yeah, they had been following him about 5 minutes. Actually, no, he's further than 5, because 5 minutes away was when he was warned, and he walked for probably another 5 or 6 just to make sure it wasn't near Caleb's house.
Okay.
Try to
I-
message us when you get there too late.
I feel like my best option is to Dimension Door.
Try to dimension board door back to us, and then try to message us, and then we'll continuously go to you. We'll try to help. I don't
Okay.
know. That's my only thing I have besides for just trying to do as much damage as possible. I have no idea what to do.
Hey Trent, would
Yep.
calling my broom be a free action, or would I need a bonus action for that?
Calling your room, I think, takes a bonus action.
Okay.
You also have to worry about if this guy has a way to track you, because how did he know you were leaving that tavern that easily? So if you dimension door, you might have to do it multiple times in order to try and surpass the radius of whatever tracking they may have.
Okay. Dude, I can't make up my mind.
I don't know how to help besides just try to teleport to us and talk to us.
You can
Somewhere.
assume that when I said 1.5 to 1.7 times stronger in HP, you can assume that if the wizard that you know as Rias likely has around 90 to 100, so if you really thought about it, you might be able to say the simulacrum probably has 45 to 50 max HP.
Yeah, but also I gotta take into consideration that I'm using MRPG.
Also, it is a simulacrum. There is a spell that you probably have that can just get rid of it if you're lucky. What's the duration on simulacrum?
Until it dies.
Nope. Says something else.
12 hours.
No. Yeah.
Oh, that's fasting time. Never mind.
What's the duration say?
Or I don't even know.
What do you mean you don't even know? It says until dispelled, my guy.
Bro, can you dispel magic him?
If he has it.
If he has this, I'm asking. Can he? I'm asking.
Instead of dealing, you can either, your options are either deal damage, try and just dispel the thing, or run away.
Ian, do you have dispel magic?
I do not have dispel magic. But, one sec. I do have something I think that will help me, maybe.
What is it?
It is illusion magic. Okay. Nope, I'm gonna have to damage him out. I'm gonna do 5th level quiet.
All right. Any saving throw for him?
I believe so. I think it's a con save.
Right. Constitution save from this. Let us see. Ooh, I don't think he passes. That is a 14.
Nope.
You rolled a 9. How unlucky.
You gotta roll some good damage, man.
I got 42 damage.
42 damage. You see the spell strikes into the figure. And they don't try and dodge it, in a way. And it's not just because they failed the save, but it's almost like they're expecting to get hit. And expecting maybe it just kills them outright. But they're not really worried about it, in a way. It takes the hit, and while still grinning and that mischievous smile played across the face, it just looks at you for a little bit, turns its head to the side, and starts muttering under its breath again. It is going to cast Magic Missile at 6th level.
You can't live from that. That is a death. He has 4 health left. No matter
Nope,
what
he has
Well-
his boy, his transformation.
Oh yeah, he can.
So, what is that? That's
And
5,
also there's a
6,
spell
7,
that-
8. That's 8d4 plus 8.
Doesn't shield do something against magic missile?
Yes, it does.
He doesn't do anything
Yep.
to you.
Oh yeah, I'll just cast shield then.
You cast shield as a reaction. Rias will cast counterspell to your shield.
Counterspell.
You're not there. He can't. He just uses
No,
reaction.
Oh, he did use his reaction. Oh.
This is how wizard fights
Battle
play
of
out,
fucking
bro.
Dude, all this his game has pretty much turned to is battle of the reactions. Who can react
Yes.
faster?
Rias is a wizard. This is how wizards fight. I'm gonna roll this on MRPG, so I don't have to do it painfully by myself.
I'm going to
8d4
check.
plus 8, 33 damage in total.
Does not kill me.
It
Huh.
strikes into you all over, but surprisingly doesn't bring you down. I think it makes you de-transform, though, yeah? Because you're out of your temp health?
No, I had 36 temp health
Ah.
and 4 regular health.
Okay, so you're still transformed, though heavily injured by the magic missiles, and it's standing there in response, yet again. He's just looking at you, and people around you are looking at this exchange, this brutal exchange. Both sides heavily bloodied, but these are common people. The guards you hear are called, but those are probably several rounds at least away. No one's going to intervene in this fight. One of you will leave here dead, more than likely. But it is your turn.
Okay.
Give me your biggest thing you can do right now, bro.
Okay, Trent. Can I transfer?
He doesn't have a reaction.
Information from my were-tiger transformation.
Say that again, Chase or Eden.
Can I transform into my Lich transformation from my
Yes.
tiger transformation?
And I think it still requires a bonus action. I
Yep.
think the Lich requires that, so yeah. You can just use your bonus action and immediately transform into Lich.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's why I built it for everything to stack for you. So those stack together.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
For you,
I get
all of this
30
is going to stack on top itself. That's kind of your build.
I heal 34 HP,
This is
leaving me with
Tug of
39.
War. Tug of War.
Yep, except Goblin wins.
And then
Maybe.
immediately I am going to cast Blight on him again.
Cast Blight again. Con save again.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got 9 again. No, he fails.
Rip.
This guy
Goblin
can't roll
wins.
above a 10. And he rolled below average on damage. This is unlucky. Reed's unlucky today. His
didn't
usual
matter his
charismatic
rage.
luck didn't really help him.
I did 30.
You deal 30 blight damage, and the simulacrum takes it again. But oddly enough, he doesn't react in pain like most would, or even try and dodge it. This simulacrum either seems like it's destined to die, or willing to die, or even wants to die. It's very odd. But the disintegrate slices up his body, and the magic dissipates. And you see, laying on the ground, what looks to be a small ring that the simulacrum was wearing, along with its coat as well. You know this coat. It isn't Rias's normal cloak, of course. He wouldn't give that to a simulacrum. You understand what this is going to be, though. This is a obviously protective cloak. Just a cloak of protection. The ring, however, you're not sure what it's going to end up being.
Okay. So I guess I'm gonna take both of those. I'm not gonna equip either one of them. And Godwin is going to limp to Caleb's while remaining in his Lich form.
Okay.
He's just gonna limp to Caleb's and try to get somewhere safe.
You limp your way back to Caleb's tower, a respite that you know will be safe. Eventually, you get your way back up there. The guards do go and investigate the scene. However, you look wildly different from the descriptions the people shouted when you first started that combat. And so they don't really stop you. And these people seem relatively friendly with the monstrous types, as of course goblins, bugbears, and such live in peace around this part. So they don't really question the fact that you're a lich, or at least look partially undead. They just kind of assume that's okay, oddly enough. Like, they obviously wouldn't be here if it was a problem. It's a weird attitude to have, but that's how it seems to be going. And when you find your way back to Caleb's house, Caleb is standing by the door looking visibly annoyed / confused. You messaged him as you were leaving, saying, I'll be there in like 10 minutes. At this point, it's probably been closer to 20 to 25 because of your detour and combat and slowing down to limp your way back. But Caleb looks at how you're bloodied and it just shakes his head and goes, what's happened?
Urias. He sent a simulacrum.
Didn't you make a deal with them?
I suppose it was phony. I let him talk me into it.
That is strange. Why would he just attack you out of nowhere?
I do not know, but from the spell that he used, he seemed to be planning to make sure I couldn't come back.
From what I understand, you couldn't come back anyway.
Well, we don't know that yet, but I suppose we'll find out soon.
Okay, sure. Anyway, what was it you wanted to talk to me about? If you've dealt with the threat, I guess we could just move on to regular business. Although I can't say I'm not worried about it.
Well, I'm actually here to give you something for Caduceus.
Okay. Sure.
It is, the sword.
And Godwin pulls the sun's sword from his side.
I'm
It is,
sorry, Caduceus is a cleric. They don't usually use swords, actually.
Well, the reason that we're wanting to give it to Caduceus is, because there was a man, trapped inside this sword.
I understand that is far different from what I believed. Sure. You're sure it's not cursed in any way, right?
Well, actually, the man in the sword was the one who told me that I was being followed. I do believe that if it hadn't warned me, that simulacrum would have had the upper hand and killed me.
Well, I guess that is a good ally to have. Are you sure you want to give it up?
Well, I feel like I owe it something now, so yes.
Alright then. I will see to doing whatever I can for this sword. And he seems to be like laughing at the prospect of this really odd encounter in the middle of probably an extremely boring normal day for him. And he grabs the blade that you're holding out and just like leans it up against the doorway and seemingly has a quick conversation with it, just telepathically. Alright, well, it seems to be fine with me taking it as well. Did you have any other business? I did have something Halas wanted me to tell you.
Well, I have time to listen, so...
Yes, I am very frightened by the fact of how he entered my home. Firstly, I would like to explain to you how that happened. He just opened a teleport gate. No confirmation from me. I didn't give him the sigils I had inscribed down. He just opened it. That is very worrying on several levels. My magical traps did activate, but he just placed down an anti-magic field and nullified them all. Once again, very worrying because I had several layers of counterspell glyphs as well. I don't know how he got past those. Either way, he said he was there on peaceful business, and I had no choice but to talk to him. I believe he is stronger than I am, at least, even in my tower, apparently. But the man decided he was going to explain to me that you guys screwed up big time, and he wanted to ask you heavily to help him in several manners. Firstly, he has a plan to try and end the war, to wrap it up. Something about a coup going on in the Empire. I'm not entirely sure. The other thing was he seemed to want me to imply heavily that freeing the Aeorians was a really stupid idea. And I honestly agree, to be fair. But he wanted to make sure I got across how absolutely bad of a plan that was. And how he believes you guys are less for it. I don't know why he was so mad about that specifically. I know he's from Aeor, maybe that has part of it. I warned you before, this is a bad man. You've seemingly made him angry. But he also wanted to talk to you about those matters in person. So he wanted you to use my tower to teleport to his before you moved on to whatever business you may have.
Well, then I suppose I will go grab the rest and bring them here.
I think I'm going to go with you.
That may be a good idea.
Yeah.
I could get robbed and be killed right now.
Yeah. And he will just grab a coat, and at this point he picks up the sword that he was seemingly just going to leave at the thing, and almost like in a way he's like, oh, this might be uncomfortable for a person. He picks up the sword and throws it onto his couch instead. Like that's going to make any difference to his sword. And he takes his coat, and he is going to walk with you back towards your tavern. I believe William was leaving as well to do something during this time. You said you wanted to talk to your mother?
We can do that, but we don't have to actually have to well play it. I was just gonna see if she's okay, and they gonna meet up, make sure that
they are overjoyed that you're back.
If
of
you
course. What?
If you were going to roleplay it, Skins was going to follow and meet this mother of Williams.
Well, I mean, you could still do that. The character really doesn't have anything going on. They are a baker. And as you enter the house, you understand that is basically all they do, is bake. And at a very high level. They even explain that some of their pastries are magically imbued in many ways. However, there's no point to hand them out, as the magically imbued ones don't last very long. You conversate, and they don't seem to have any prejudice against goblins specifically. However, very oddly, once again, something strange happens during this very quick, seemingly boring day. And your ex-wife, you haven't talked to since last time you went to her tower, for whatever that reason was, I can't remember, just appears out of the blue and enters and just starts talking like nothing's going on. That doesn't quite sit well with you because they had no reason to know you were here. They either visit your mother regularly or had a reason to show up at this time, though they seemingly just brush it off and don't specify any particular reason. Unless you want to press them for it, that conversation can go on as peacefully and as normally as possible, as nothing other than that will happen and stand out anyway.
Mother, I look over to her, to my ex, and I look back at my mom. I was gonna ask if you could lend me some sweets of yours.
I already told you, adventurers, they live on the road. There's no way to preserve their pastries.
Oh no, I was just trying to let my friends taste them.
Oh, sure. And they would just slide out. They have 6 ovens in their house. It's very strange. They just slide 2 trays out of these ovens. They are obviously well-made pastries, but they're not a type that you would normally have here in the Korean Dynasty. They seem to have taken inspiration from the cinnamon bear claws that are famous on the Menagerie, and then there's the Zimni cakes. It's more like a pancake than anything else, but made out of potatoes, but very, very sweet potatoes. It isn't very tasty to most people, unless you are raised in that kind of place. Basically sweet potato pancakes, if you can imagine those. They will hand a few out to each of you, and your ex will also take a few as well.
Skins, you see William just in love with sweets.
You also note that this is
Chilling.
obviously the
Thanks.
human side of William. She is human, while the father you assume is either elven or half elven himself.
Right. Skins while eating is just gonna awkwardly be there as he has no idea who the are. Besides, well, he knows not too much, but he knows that William's mother, but he doesn't know the other person that's in his house. He he's assuming is this a relative? Who is this? As he's eating.
Skins, with your high perception, you see that they're glaring at William fairly frequently. And William, even with your low perception, you can see they're not trying to hide the fact that they're glaring at you several times.
I'll go up to Skins' ear and just very quietly go, "That's my ex."
Why is she here?
I don't.
You don't know them. Why are you not asking questions?
She's scared.
She's scary.
So very good.
I had.
You know, Skins and Urias, think of that, but a little bit more, and very angry at me.
As you start
Just ask
whispering,
questions.
she
Just
seems to
that's all you
take
gotta do.
a hint that you're talking about her, and she'll just look over at you guys whispering, and then very straight cut, no sugarcoating, and also a lot of extra added malice. Just say, he burned down an orphanage.
Okay, well, it wasn't me. It was my dragon friend.
that you brought to the
I-
orphanage?
Didn't you tell me this story? I feel like you did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did tell you this.
Yeah, I was actually.
I
I
was
knew
saying that
people in
out of
that
character, I was
orphanage. A
making
few of
sure.
them were quite injured.
Yeah.
This is gonna look at William a little bit. It's like,
Before I
And-
met you guys, I was way worse than I am now. Okay. I was stuck.
and
Didn't see that
And you
different than me
married
when
him.
you last came over. I did. I was a fool. We were young. That's all I can make an
Uh-huh,
excuse for.
I have one question. If you hate him, and if you're a fool for marrying him, why are you here?
Ah, you finally ask. Because I hate him.
I didn't. So you're with his mom?
No. I'm here because I wanted to make sure that he wouldn't do anything while he was here.
I kind of want to inside check that.
Go ahead.
Williams,
Also,
Yeah.
a description for those who don't remember this character. It was very short-lived last time they talked. This is a drow woman that looks relatively young. Like, you can tell that she is probably as young as an elf gets before they are stationary for hundreds of years. This person probably isn't more than 25 years old in reality, even with their drow heritage. Hiding that fact. 13, plus what?
Believe. Let me check
I know you
reroll.
got a relatively high insight, because Ranger.
I can
Also,
also describe it a little bit more.
yeah.
More.
Well,
After this.
13 plus 10, so 23.
23.
No, that's perception. I lied. No, 19. That was
Still-
perception
still
I was
pretty
looking
high.
at there.
You can tell that it's a mix of the truth and a lie at the same time. One part of it they are lying about. They're obviously not just here for that reason, as to keep him relatively contained, but they are also here for that reason. There is another layer to it that they are not revealing, seemingly. And it's not anything to do like they still like William or nothing. They obviously hate this man. Like,
Okay,
it's not to the
well,
point where they'll go
besides-
violent or anything, but
Well, besides, staying here and keeping an eye on him, which I can do just fine. Trust me, I've been adventuring for him for about a year, so you've probably been married for longer. I don't know how long you guys married. He never talked about you, but anyway,
Because I feel like
In any case-
she would show up because she could not in my bro.
hey, okay. You sure there isn't any other reason that you're here? Skin says, as he's very awkward. He's tired, but he's going through something, and he's having to deal with this awkward situation.
Well, Sean, besides for seeing and talking to this very fierce woman, what is Beanie again?
pseudo dragon.
You see a
Yes,
white
dragon.
pseudo dragon right next to her.
That true. A lot of people have pseudo dragons in this world.
Okay.
But she
Apparently.
just shakes her
They're
head
not rare.
slightly and goes, "Not particularly. I just wanted to. I guess see what I'm up against in case whatever happens if he goes berserk again. I'm sure we'll meet again relatively soon, and I, wanted you to at least know me, and not be just completely shocked by my presence, and his friends as well."
I don't think you have to, hurt him or anything. If he
No.
does something stupid.
Yes,
I'll definitely
if
hurt
he
him.
does something stupid, I think it's in our best interest to hurt him. Anyway,
But
I've got
let's
sweets now.
let's not have that to come down.
I am probably going to go ahead and take my leave. Just know I'm watching, and they will just leave on a very cryptic note. No disclosed information, really. Secrets hidden, secrets seen but not revealed. they're obviously up to something, and they just walk out of the building eating a pastry.
Skins is gonna rub his eyes. Man, what is with wizards and spying on us? I'm getting real tired of wizards. Except Godwin, he's okay. I like him.
I hope Godwin's okay. Godwin, yeah. I love wizards too. I hope he's good. I hope he's doing good.
Well, no, man. I was thinking about it. Maybe we shouldn't have sent the wizard out by himself. Maybe someone would assassinate him. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys hear in like the corners of your mind. You just hear Godwin going,
Help! Help! Help me! It feels like I just have this weird sense of suspicion that Godwin's about to die once again. I wasn't even there for the first time I felt it. Anyway, right. Okay, so Red Dead's probably got to watch out for her. William, I'll let you handle that. You have fun with that. I'm tired of wizards. I've declared that I'm going to not do anything wizardry besides my own spells. But in any case, you have fun with that. I'm going to take these pastries and I'm going to go.
You give them to the rest of our team. I was wondering to try it. Share.
Sure.
As he leaves, he does conversate with his mom, and then secretly, without letting her see it, he go to a place and just at the cash register or something, and just lends out 10,000 gold, and then says, "It was nice."
Are you trying to steal 10,000 gold from her or give her?
No,
10,000
I'm giving
gold?
her.
Okay, I was like, what does that quite mean? I don't understand that one.
Handing off 10,000 gold onto the counter.
Okay.
And then just, it's been really nice catching up with you, Mom. And gives her a hug and
You as well, son. I hope you come back soon. My shop still needs someone to take over whenever I'm retired. I'm getting up there, It's hot in here sometimes, and I can't quite take all 6 ovens burning anymore.
Alright, Mom.
Before Skins fully left, he opens the front door again, peeks his head. You can come to Palma Flora. There's a lot of people who like baking and pastries and stuff, and then he just leaves. He leaves again.
Yes, why don't you pick up your entire shop and move? That's super easy, dude.
He'll then
easy.
catch up with Skins, and I guess they go back to the team.
Alright. At this point, you return actually probably just slightly before the conversation with Godwin and Caleb come back in, mostly because of the detour that Godwin had to make during the combat. But you return and then quickly see, less than a minute later, a super dangerously close to death Godwin, bloodied and covered in bones, and like his flesh is peeled away on one side and fur is growing out the other. He is obviously transformed into every state he can at once, and is still barely walking. And you also see Caleb behind him, just coming in entirely unharmed.
Skins, we jinxed it.
Godwin, what happened? Why do you look like you just got you're ash?
Ria's attacked me.
Skin just sits there, wide-eyed. Had a big awkward smile on his face when he was talking. He's just silence, just staying there.
It was a simulacrum.
Slowly.
Oh, sorry, Sean.
Slowly. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just doing a bit at this point, but so Skins is gonna walk over to a wall and, as hard as he can, slam his head into the wall.
You leave an actual crack in the wood. You're strong enough now to actually just damage buildings in anger.
And then he's just gonna sit there. He's just gonna stay there. He's not moving a muscle.
William summons a sword.
I killed it, but it got dangerously close to killing me.
Skins moves away from the wall after like a moment of processing, and then his head is a bit bloodied. You can see some blood dripping down, but he just rubs his face. I knew it. I should have taken the shot. I should have did it. He's just going. He's at that point. He's going to a fetal position.
Didn't we just make a deal with him?
Of course he.
I don't know what game to
course.
play, but obviously it is not in our best interest to remain friendly anymore.
I wanted to kill him.
Okay. When I get to Palmaflora, and I'm gonna retire there, hopefully, if I don't pass away through the war. In any case, we go to Palmaflora, and then I'm gonna put magical defenses all over the place so that no one can just, go there and just wizard it up. I'm done. I'm done. Skins goes into like a manic craze and just like you see he's kind of breaking down. He's breaking down, which is something that normally doesn't happen.
Well, although this attack did bring me within an inch of my life, I do not think we should focus Rias. Not just yet, anyway. This small glimpse into his power. Although he is not terribly stronger than us, it made me feel that I need to become stronger, and we as a whole need to become stronger before we attack him.
I did learn a new trick while I was in the Feywild. It won't do much, but it's something new.
I'd say we can take anything we'll get.
So,
About maybe a minute or so, Skins will get out of his craze. Just try to slowly compose himself. Right, okay. Okay. I'll help as much as I can. But I physically don't think I can handle seeing Rias again. I'll help, but I'm not sure if I want to be around him. I'm tired of seeing him. So, there's a lot going on, and I'm just done with Rias. I'm done with a lot of spells. I'm just tired. I was sent to a different plane of existence, died by magic, and I'm just done. I'm done.
I understand.
So, if the plan is to go full force to Rias' compound with whatever help we get, I'll stay outside the compound and maybe help barrage it with whatever I can. But I'm not going in that building. You'll have to take someone else with you that might be as strong or stronger than me. But anything to do with Rias, I'm not doing. At least to a certain extent. Skins then just like starts calming down. Has to rub his eyes again as there was a bit of tears going down him. Okay. So it was a simulacrum that hit you, right, Godwin?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I know he's a powerful wizard. You don't think the orb does that too, do you?
I'm not fully sure what the orb is capable of, but if it's as powerful as we are told, I don't see why not.
What are you talking about?
The whole orb, the orb that Halas sent us on to go get, but then we were going to give it to Caleb, but we just didn't make. We made the deal with Rias, so
Oh, yeah.
now Rias is. Yeah, that orb. Anyway. All right, we'll won't focus on him. We have honestly more urgent matters. We have this whole war to deal with, and we've been holding off your thing for a while, Godwin, and we need to do that soon. So on the way, we'll head to Menagerie, and then I guess get a boat and then head up to Isocross again to find wherever this ship is and wherever you have to go. But then, as Skins is saying this, Caleb went with him, right?
Caleb's here.
Yeah.
He's just letting you guys talk.
Skins is gonna know. Yeah. Skins is, even with his high perception, he didn't seem focused on Caleb or anyone else in the room besides pretty much Godwin and William at the moment. Well, and BL and them, but they're doing whatever they're doing. Skins is going to look up at Godwin, and then like notice Caleb's in the room. Is like, oh, you're also here, so that helps us with getting to Menagerie, I guess, pretty easily.
I mean, I can teleport you there if you would like. I just don't know why you would necessarily need to get to the Menagerie. I know you need to talk to Halas. You never really said that. Halas does need to talk to you, but you don't really need to go to Palma, Florida.
I'm just saying that we need a boat to get to Isocross again.
I don't think you have a boat in Palma, Florida, last I recall. Nicodranus is a large city. I'm sure there will be boats there. However, if you plan to head... You said you're heading to Isocross.
Yeah, we have a thing there for William, and I think Godwin has something there as well. But, I want to go to Palma, Florida just in case. I need to pick up something there to do a lot of things before I leave to go to Isocross again, as I know it's a very dangerous place. And the Aeorians were there not too long ago.
Alright.
Actually, I think you were there for that.
No. I think I left.
No, I think he was.
I think I left early. I teleported you in, saw what that was, and just said, it's up to you to handle it, and then left.
Yes. I thought he was there, but I guess not.
He
was
teleported,
there, but
he
not.
teleported in, saw the thing, and just went, that's an army at your gates. I'm assuming that's something you know about. I can stay in support if you'd like. And you guys said, yeah, sure, but he never showed up. He was at the keep. He was covering the keep while you guys were talking. And when you went back to the keep, he had teleported away.
Okay, I was making sure. Okay. In any case, I guess we go talk to Halas. We'll do everything else. Everyone okay with that?
No problems here.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Walking back to my tower take about the same amount of time as doing it here. It's up to you guys if you'd rather just go through my portal or cast it yourselves somehow.
We can, I guess, just walk. But first, I'd like to hear confirmation to see if the plan's okay. And Skins is going to look at Biel. Is Eden, is Chase still doing dishes or something? Is he back yet?
Yeah.
I don't know what Chase is doing. He's been in there for a minute.
He just left and he's just gone.
Alright, I was just making sure because He hasn't been here, but it's okay. If he has to do, if he has to do stuff, that's fine. We can't help that. But in any case, all right. So I guess that's the plan. We'll head over there. I'll keep an eye out. All right. I'll see if there's anything following us. I guess. Skins is going to look at Godwin, gently pat his shoulder. Just be careful, okay?
I think we are fine for the time being. Or at least I hope.
I like to believe that, but with Rhea surrounds, I don't know. And then Skins is going to just shrug a little bit, and then look at the door, and he'll start walking out the door, holding his bow, and he's going to whistle for Bat, and he's going to just fly across the rooftops.
Alright. Your party will gather up, head their way towards Caleb's tower, at which point you'll go inside, walking your bat up as well, using the magic circle, the ones who know of the runic inscribing of Halas's tower, connect the two, and step through. As you teleport through, you're brought once more to that gray, half-dome-like room, almost identical to the one in Caleb's tower. Except there is no one here to greet you like usual. Usually Halas or the goblin butler is already here. This time, however, with no warning and also no forethought of what you would be doing, no one seems to be coming to check up on you. Maybe they just assume their traps will take care of any intruders and are just assuming you guys are fine. However, no traps are on, so maybe they were expecting you after all. It's near impossible to tell exactly why no one's coming, but they aren't. You can walk through the tower as much as you'd like. However, you know that going down the staircase is where you would normally end up, at the common room. Going up or to somewhere else, you're not sure what it would take you to. You've never been there.
Alright. We should, I guess we'll try and go down the common room, but if there's anything, if Skins is gonna look at the two magic casters, the two wizards, it's like, if you guys feel anything's off, let us know and we'll be on alert, because I just have a bad feeling right now.
Alright. So are you guys heading downstairs like normal?
I guess so.
Alright. Your party will start heading down the circling staircase around the sides of the tower and find yourself into the familiar common room, which seems to be the default layout of the place, though you know he can change it somewhat on a whim. You head into the common room, and you don't see anyone in here yet again, though you do hear what sounds to be someone cooking in the room just beyond. You saw that was the dining room before, but it also seems to be able to be a kitchen. Either they manually changed it, or that's just the default setting because it's a kitchen, though they changed it to a dining room when guests are over. And shortly afterwards, you see a goblin butler come out carrying what looks to be a small plate of mounded eggs. Like, they got a small plate and stacked eggs on top of each other to make more eggs fit on the plate. And as they walk in, they shout in surprise and almost cartoonishly throw the egg plate in the air before reaching down and grabbing their dagger and pointing it at you guys and just kind of getting in a crouch position. As they normally do, this is the song and dance every time you hear, "Thieves! What are you doing in here, thieves?"
Not thieves!
Calm
why are
down,
you
little
here?
goblin man.
If you're not thieves, why are you in the house?
Meeting Halas.
Ah.
No.
He starts
Sorry.
picking up eggs off the ground. I guess, if you know the master... Wait a minute. Something... I remember you from somewhere. And he points at your group in general. I know some of you. What do I know for you? Where do I know you from? Tell me.
We come here pretty frequently.
I don't know about that. He keeps picking up the eggs. He stabs one of the eggs with his knife and just starts angrily eating it in the corner as he walks back into the kitchen, seemingly to make a new batch of eggs or something, maybe eat the rest of his food. But he just kind of walks away, and you hear him shouting Halas's name shortly after into another door that probably continues off of the kitchen. Not too long after that, Halas will actually walk up the staircase. However, there is another person with him. One that you have seen not too long ago, like today, maybe an hour ago at this point. And you see he's walking up the stairs chatting with Rias. They seemingly have no worries in the world. They're talking and walking up the staircase together. Maybe the fact that you guys are on bad terms means they're not on bad terms either at this point. Even though you saw that before, Rias was afraid of Halas, and Halas was, like, cautious of Rias. At this point, they seem like they're chatting about some research that they were doing. You have no idea what they're talking about because you've never been in the orb, the happy fun ball, as some specific people put it before. And they're talking about something in there, it seems. And as they walk up, they both just kind of turn and look at you. Rias sits down on a sofa across the way from where Halas sits, and they both just kind of sit down. Halas immediately hops in the conversation, picking it up as if there would be nothing wrong, except you obviously have some reasons to believe something might be wrong, being attacked not too long ago. And Halas would just immediately jump in with, first and foremost, why are you so foolish as to let the Aeorians out? They were trapped for 1,000 years. You never thought there might be a reason they should stay trapped?
Skins does not say anything. He's staring dead
Yeah.
at Rias.
I want Godwin. Make a
he-
perception check for me, Godwin.
Okay. So while
And-
Godwin
and you
is percepting, I want he's gonna walk over and just sit next to Rias.
Yeah, I mean, Rias doesn't seem to be uncomfortable by it at all. He doesn't even seem slightly off-put.
18.
18. Something you notice as you sit down next to Rias. You've talked to Rias a few times, and you were a slave for like a year at least. So you've seen the man a lot. However, you never really gotten super close to his face, nor paid attention to it, because usually you were told to keep your eyes down and away from the masters in general. And when you have talked to him as an equal, it's been usually at a distance, and usually in a very condescending tone where he would often turn away. And so it never caught you as odd that his eyes would be blue. When he was looking down at you, his piercing blue eyes saw through your disguise. But his eyes are red, a deep red. That's not normal. No magic would change your eye colors for no reason.
Well, there's a simple cantrip.
Yes, but why would you do that? Why would you do that on top and layer that on for no reason? If he's planning to assassinate
Right.
Godwin, there's no reason to hide his eye color. Yes, he could have, but why would he have? And you understand
So-
why with your passive
Plot
insight, he
thickens.
isn't perturbed at all. Like, he doesn't seem to be worried that maybe something went wrong because the man he tried to assassinate is alive. He doesn't even seem to care that he sat down next to him. Almost like his deal with you guys would still be intact, kind of thing.
So, is there any way I could have a conversation with him?
You could cut off
And not have
Halas
that-
and try and take Rias away somewhere. Because Halas right now is questioning you about Aor, but if you stopped him for a moment, you probably could. But it would be obvious you're trying to talk to him in private, kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that. The only other way I could do it is cast a spell.
Okay,
I
so
don't want to spit the loss off.
you say, hey, man, I want to talk to this guy real quick. We'll be right back with you. Give me 1 second. And Halosh just goes, sure, I guess. And he, instead of heading inside the tower again, because if you're trying to be private, you don't want to be in a wizard's tower. You don't know where the wizard can actually hear. So he will head to the front door and push it out, and you will be in the marketplace in the middle of Nicodranus. In this portion of the world, it is just not even sunrise yet, which is odd as to why he would be here at this hour in the first place. But traveling so far in such a simple teleportation really has screwed with your guys' circadian rhythm here. This is like extreme jet lag. It'll probably be another hour before the sun even rises, and it was about midday, about noon, where you were before. But he walks outside and just turns around and goes, yeah, what'd you want to talk to me about, man? Were you upset because of the deal? You want to talk about the sphere? Because we did make a promise about that sphere.
What are you planning, Rias? Why target me?
You're the one who brought me out here.
So are you telling me that wasn't your simulacrum?
My simulacrum's right there. And you see a simulacrum buying fish at the market that looks exactly like Rias. Can't have more than one of those up. Well, unless you're William.
I was attacked this morning by a simulacrum of you. He had those same eyes, except blue.
That's very strange. That means that someone had to have come in contact with me. So it's only people... Well, that's actually quite a lot of people. But people who are powerful enough to make magic. Maybe the Cerberus Assembly. I spoke to one of them. That was a while ago. They really kept that simulacrum for a while, like a few months, or someone I would never guess would do that would have done it. But then they also had to get it imperfect, like they didn't know me very well when they did it either. I don't know. Mine's right there though, so it wasn't mine. He was buying fish for me. We're about to make breakfast. Or midnight snack, you could say. I don't know.
I have a question, DM.
Yep.
Okay, so is the Rias that Goblin is talking to has red eyes, or is it blue eyes?
He has red eyes. He has the deep ruby red you've always seen before.
Because I was a bit confused. Like, wait, hold on, this guy has blue eyes too. So does that mean something else? Okay, never mind.
You didn't know because Godwin never felt the need to have specified the eye color of his attacking Rias before. So he didn't specify it was blue-eyed Rias. So that's why you could interpret that as real Rias attacking him. In this case, now that you know he has red eyes, you can confirm you've always seen him with red eyes. Godwin is the one who may have not realized that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just saying that, like, does this Rias have blue or red eyes? Because I was confused on that part.
Nah, he red.
But anyway, continue.
I do not see a reason for why he would attack me.
We made a deal like a week ago.
And that is the reason that I thought it so, but I believe you. I don't see a reason for you to want me dead.
Also, why wouldn't I do it myself? Because simulacrums are weaker, and it's not like I can really die. You know you've already given me the secrets to cloning. So I would just kill you myself. You know, it would almost guarantee the effect, or even with my simulacrum. That's a very simple thing to do.
I figured it was more of a display of power than an assassination.
You already know you can't defeat me. You've tried so many times and failed so many times. I don't think there's any more displays of power I could do. If you attack me again, then you are the definition of insanity, you know. I just assumed your group would eventually learn, but hopefully now you know? I don't need a display anymore.
Well, seeing as there is no reason for me to not believe you, I suppose that is all the business I have. Unless you have something to chime in.
Oh, well, no. We just need to talk to Halas still, because he wants to talk to you in conjunction to them, but also you separately. He has a lot of plans in place at the moment. A lot of things have happened very suddenly that we've realized. Other than that, not particularly on my end. He just grabs what looks to be like a fish on a skewer that's like multiple different types of fish, just like on a kebab, and he starts eating it as nonchalantly as ever. His simulacrum hands you one as well. I am good. I have no reason to be in the menagerie other than talking to Halas at the moment, so.
Well, thanks for the fish, then. And then Godwin's gonna walk in and gnaw on his fish.
Rias will follow back inside. Sitting back down, Halas is just sitting there agitatedly waiting. Like you just brushed him off on something he believes is far more important than whatever you could be talking about with that guy. But as you re-enter, he just immediately picks up the conversation with no time to spare, no time to try and sway it in another way, and immediately goes once again, alright, back to the topic at hand. I know it was you. You're the only group who could have done it. I don't know any other roving groups that break god barriers very often. You let the Aeorians go. I got a message from one of them. How stupid can you be?
Pretty stupid.
I understand that. But why? Why? You know they're dangerous, right?
Skins has to like look away a moment to speak to the loss as Rias comes back in. Well, we didn't go to Aeor to free the Aeorians. Though they came to us in Let me finish, please. And Skins is like...
You're talking very slow for my taste.
Like
this could be a world-ending threat any moment. And he's obviously extremely agitated, both at you and just in general at the moment.
Yeah. Look, listen. It wasn't us. The Aeorians came to Palmaflora, and if we didn't help them, they would have, destroyed Palmaflora and probably everything else that belonged to us. But in any case, we didn't go there personally. They wanted William. We gave them some acronym of William, who knew where this so-called orb was. And I guess they did something there.
Of course they did. You just said you gave them a simulacrum to find what they needed. Of course they did something there.
Well, how was I supposed to know?
I'm going to be frank.
I'm not William.
In my personal experience...
I wasn't there.
No, but I think you were there in Aeor at one point in time. I think you probably understood what those artifacts could do, and the fact that you were willing to negotiate with them, and the fact that they wanted it so bad to come to you and threaten all those things, obviously meant they were valuable, and I doubt they would have lied about what they were for, really. Pretty sure they were probably pretty clear. Most Aeorians are very blunt people, and that's why I'm going to tell you this. In my personal experience, from what I understand, I would have let your places get burned down. That's probably the best outcome in this scenario. Let them burn the villages, let the goblins flee as best they can, and that be the end of it. That is not going to be the end of it. There is going to be conquest, probably. And there's nothing we can do about it, because they're all as strong as I am, maybe slightly less so.
Hey guys, Chase is back.
Woohoo! Halas is scolding you. That's what's going on right now, Chase. Halas is scolding you for letting the Aorians get their Aorian people back.
No, I've straight up just been listening from the kitchen. I know exactly what's all happened.
Okay. Good. And then he like puts his head, like he's like shaking his head, obviously in like a disappointed, like angry way, but he's trying not to get too angry at this and trying to offer solutions. Alright, well, there's nothing we can really do about that. Those guys are just a thing now. And they will probably work their way into society or force their way into society over the course of a few years. I can't do anything about this. There's nothing we can do. Unless you guys have a plan. How do we kill people as strong as me? Probably 100 of them.
Well, first off, what is the major danger with these Aorians? I wasn't with this particular group while they were venturing in this place.
They weren't awakened either way at that time, but the particular danger is the fact that they can make an army basically on a whim. You've seen Warforged, right?
Yes.
I can create those. I don't. They can create those. They will. I believe you met someone called the Web or the Skeleton. They were in Aor. You talked about them before, and they were the Aorian machines you saw while you were up there. You've talked about these things, and apparently what probably showed up at Palmaflora. That is a hive mind. Currently, they are one figure that commands a hive of how many ever storage lockers of them were still around after the collapse, apparently. But that hive mind will expand. That was what made Aor a superpower and made them control the entirety of this continent, more or less. They didn't ever have to work. They could focus all their studies on magic, because the machines would do everything. They didn't have to fight basic monsters, because the machines would do everything. You've seen how intelligent Warforged are. And they can't disobey their masters, which were the Aorians. Think about how dangerous that is. Each of them as clever as me or you. Well, probably not as me, but as you. Most of you, at least. Godwin, maybe not, but most of you, most of the people around. Zeal, as strong as the hard drive. Fully sentient, but can't disobey. Covering the entirety of continents. That was what they used to do. And that's why there are more still around. So that's the danger, but also because they hate the gods, and the gods are currently on the world. Meaning there is a solid chance you may just see a god fighting in Aor when you go up there. If they decide to risk that. Because the Aorians still have some guns active, as I hear, from Biel's cannon fire. Either way, though, I don't really see a way we can solve it. I have a few other notions, few other requests here. The king isn't the king. That's something I'll just throw in there real quick. And the Dwendalians are undergoing a coup very shortly. And we have to make a plan to save the political system of the Dwendalian Empire. Otherwise, one or the other will have too much power, and we will never be able to stop them again. And they could march in here if they want. While you were gone, we were attacked several times navally, and at the gate as well. They were repelled, but the mountains have been leaking soldiers recently, as Charm's army of monsters is no longer really holding up to the task. They're getting more aggressive. Any of these you have solutions to, I would be welcome to hear them.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this right now. We're not gonna be able to do anything with the Aorians because we couldn't even defeat him. He still doesn't look at Rias. He just has a hand out pointing towards Rias. How do you expect us to do anything about that? However, the other two options, maybe be able to help. I don't know. Look, Halas, I don't mean to be an asshole right now, but there's so much shit going on, and I'm just a single goblin, and these guys, they do their best, okay? We'll try our best to help this situation. We'll go help whatever coup you guys support, because I want to focus on that right now. is I have a home in Palma Flora I want to protect. And that's final. So I'll go help whatever coup's happening in Dwendalian Empire. I'll go help whatever happening in the Cyros Mountains. But I don't know how you expect us to do anything about the Aeorians.
Alright. Well, the Aeorians,
Skins
obviously a problem we can't handle.
Skins is
What?
at the moment, Skins' hair, as frizzled as it is underneath his hood, you guys kind of see it slowly get more unfrizzled, like he's getting more unhinged by the moment as the moments are passing.
And honestly, you see
He's
Halas
looking
in
more
a
feral.
relatively similar state. He is obviously not slept, and you understand that they likely aren't waking up really early. These two have probably been in the basement studying something all night in preparation for something. But Halas was just like, after his statement of, well, there's nothing we can do about that for now, but we can do some things. The coup, we are going to have to do it in like 2 months. We're not the one doing the coup. Cerberus Assembly are. We can't let that happen. Cerberus Assembly are stronger than Rias, as strong as the Spider, and ever so slightly, well, relatively nuisances to me. They could team up and cause a problem if a few of them were together. The Cerberus obviously want the position to be the entire rulers. They want to be the majorocracy that Aeor once was. That's their whole goal. The Cerberus Assembly are trying to bring back magic that was so old and lost to time that we had. I can tell Zimni blood, it's just a thing that Aeorians could. We could tell if it was an intruder that way. We often figured out outsiders from our city just by being able to more or less detect Zimni blood in people. The king is not Zimnian. The king is from the coast. I think since that political party, the Cerberus may have swapped the king with someone else and just cast like true polymorph on them or something. This king can fight. The king you saw at the political party had guards. This one doesn't need them. And this one they're trying to oust now. But that king obviously doesn't want to be ousted. We think our friends in the Cerberus Assembly, specifically, I know you know Ashton and Luke, those ones, think they're in danger. I think the Cerberus are going to try and attack the castle within the next 2 months, probably in 2 months' time, so they can get all their preparations done. We need to be there by then and beat them to the punch. To succeed at stopping the coup and or realigning the balance, we need to kill the king and at least like 3 members of the cooing party of the Cerberus Assembly. If we can do that, that works, and everything can go back to normal, and the balance will be restored once more. The true king would come back. Cerberus no longer has enough power to do what they wish. They would have to recruit new Cerberus members. If we can't do that, the Cerberus are going to take over, or the king's going to take over. Either side is bad, because if the king has absolute control, they can do whatever they want and command all of it. One man. In old age, men get senile. He's just a human. If the Cerberus take over, they might enjoy war because they like taking things from places that they want, and they would mistreat the people of the Dwendalian Empire for their own gain, and just probably take over the continent eventually. So I'm asking for y'all's help to help us deal with some of those members, and with the king.
What exact role did Astrid and Luke play in this?
Victims, probably not right now, but very soon, probably victims. The Cerberus don't like them because they don't think the way the rest do. The Cerberus, they have no morals. These ones do. Luke was trained by someone who killed a prominent member of the Cerberus back in 20 years ago or so. Luke is basically the rebirth of Caleb Widogast, the Spider, into the Cerberus. And they don't like the moral system there. They also don't like how much power the Mighty Nine has because of it. And Astrid would never do anything that Caleb would actively fight her for. They are close, in a way.
Then I offer my hand. I cannot act against Astrid, and I would not desire to. If there's some way that I can help either of them, or even better, both of them, then I am in.
Our current plan, from just the general idea phase, is gather enough people who are willing to fight, prominent enough that they are skilled enough to handle it, have a few distractions in the middle of this, in just the city, like explode a few abandoned buildings or something, burn a part of the city, not too violent or deadly, just annoyances so the city guard scatter. Bum rush, that's the best way you can say it, the castle. Many of us would just deal with the Cerberus members, try and get those over with, or the Volstrucker in the area. We would have run directly into the castle and try and deal with the king before the gates shut and the magical defenses come online. That's our best hope right now, because if each of us can deal a little bit of damage, then the coup could be stopped.
I have something to offer.
Alright?
My master, he trained me in the ways of combat before Astrid, or even Rias. And before he died, he gave me his hammer, along with a message scrolled in Elven. From what I can tell, it will lead to the downfall of the Dwendalian.
Are you saying you want to lead to the downfall of the Dwendalian Empire, or that if you can figure out what it is and stop it, you can stop the downfall?
All the message told me is that it may lead to the downfall. It's somewhere near Isocross, I believe.
If your old messages may not apply, in my experience, time waste those. We can try and figure it out, but it will likely be something simple like a weapon. If you use it, it will, like a cursed weapon, or certain members of the Cerberus are a problem. Of course they are. We can try it, but I don't know how much help something that may make or break the downfall would be. Of course you can go there and figure it out.
Okay. I want to offer some things that might help as well. Halas, I know you're very influential around here. And since we're on such a time crunch, there was a lot of things that we needed to do. Near also Isocross, Skins is going to look at William. William here has something that might be able to help against naval battles in case if the Dwindles try to attack the Menagerie against the ocean again. William, would you like to explain on what it is?
Sorry, I was trying to cut off at the last bit. Something about...
Explain what it is, your dreadnought.
Yeah, explain the dreadnought.
The 3 ships?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't really know much about it. It's just I have a thing. I own 3 ships. Trent, where is it at?
Off the coast of Isocross, near the worm, insane people, like Tomb of the Worm.
Near the coast of Isocross, somewhere around there. I have 3 really good ships we could try to get real quick. That could help us.
Rias will, at this point, pipe up a little bit and go, I'm sorry, man. I'm really not thinking 3 ships is going to make a difference in naval battle as big as the Empire. Of course, depends how good the ship is, for sure, but I don't I don't think 3 is really going to protect a strategic point that well.
No, but anything helps. Like, so if you guys want to go for those, we can try to get them.
They're both in Isocross. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't, really. If you can kill 2 birds with a stone, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have his team assembled by the time you're back. Go into more detail about what the plan is. And I guess take our steps from there.
Right.
Should we try evacuating Astrid and Luke before we try and do anything?
I doubt there's a way we can get them away from their responsibilities. Not without arousing suspicion. That would put them in even more danger.
Trying to
Or at
flee
least
would
that's what-
almost certainly expedite the process. That's what I would do.
Right. So, guess we'll just have to leave him there. Skins is then going to look at Rios again. He's going to stare him directly in his eyes. You see a moment where his eyes turn like they're orange and blue. Like the bottom half of his eyeballs, like the top half of his eyeballs were orange. And he's like, he just stares at Rios. Aren't you in the Shady Creek Run?
My home is, like,
Why?
HQ of my operation, yeah.
So why help us? Why
I
help
don't-
the Menagerie?
Why have the Cerberus Assembly take the Empire? They're wizards, too. If I do that, then they'll have a monopoly on all of everything. And the power to take whatever they wish. I don't want that. I mean, they're as strong as I am, more or less. I think I might be able to take them on in a 1v1 fight and have a solid chance of winning, even. But still, if there's 9 of them, even, out of their 13, that are still alive, and they have command of the entire Empire, how am I going to get anything of real value? Yes, I can smuggle it, but that'll obviously get harder. They can detect everything magical. Right now, the way it is, they don't got enough power to snuff out every candle of criminals. And King, well, they're not very magically adept people. They're just spies. Yes, they stump us out sometimes, but not very often.
Okay. So, the plan right now is go to Isocross, get the ship, come back with whatever Godwin's mentor left him. And hopefully be back in time to do a full-on raid on the Empire, I guess.
More or less. That's kind of my plan, at least. That's what I put together. The problem is, it's going to be costly either way.
Well, that's war for you. At least so my father says. War is costly. And look, we'll try and devise something. 2 months. Do you think you think we have time to stop by Palma Flora? I need to get something there.
I can teleport you over if you want. I mean, I have multiple teleports now. I can just head home afterwards, Rhea says. Halas will shake his head and go, I have to make a team. I'm going to be heading directly to a mansion after this conversation. I don't have time to teleport around at the moment. I will also be heading over to Port Damali. That'll probably be next time you see me if you come back from your expedition in 2 months.
Alright, Skins is going to look at Lost. If you're going to make a team, I recommend also going to Palma Flora for a few of my goblins too. So we're a small tribe, but we still have some capable fighters. Ask my father. He's one of the rulers right there, I guess, but he's the original king. And ask for a few of the Fira Elki. That's a hard way they say things like that. I wish I didn't name it that.
Alright, I will see what I can do about that. I will talk to them. I believe we would have to conscript them anyway. They're part of the menagerie now at this point. We haven't ever done any official treaties with the new owners, you guys. But you're going to be attacked either way, so we might as well require you to defend yourselves and help the Empire as we help defend you. In this case, probably. You have to be okay with whoever you're giving us dying, though. We don't want anyone vital to your infrastructure. If we have them, you may not recover.
That's the danger of being the Feral Key in my tribe. You're more likely to die than any other goblin.
That's the danger of every adventurer.
Right, now we should stop wasting time and start doing things now.
Do you think Caleb should be notified of this?
Of what exactly? What portions?
Well, as you said, Caleb is quite close to Astrid. Maybe he would want a part in helping.
Think that is smart, but not tell him. Let's not tell him before we're ready for the coup. If we do tell him before then, I fear he may try and step in a little early. The man can be a little rash. They obviously care, and they're going to try and get Luke out. There's no doubt that as soon as we told them, Veth and Luke would both be sucked away into the Kryn Dynasty. I don't think that's a good thing, because if we do that, then we know that the coup is going to happen early, and we won't have time for you to do whatever you're going to do.
Right.
I do have a question as well. I know we need to be going, but what about the Kryn? Isn't the Menagerie and the Kryn allies now?
Yes, they're going to be sending soldiers. They have a different route than us, where we are going to have to sneak in through the sea. We're going to have to sail up and break through with our navy. Single concentrated attack could probably pierce next to Rexingtrum. We'll also have land-based attacks infiltrate over the course of the 2 months that we're waiting here. Shore wardens some of them are very skilled at actually infiltrating. The Kryn Dynasty, however, their preferred method is just to dig into the cave systems under places, set up camps there, and then dig to the surface when they're attacking. They have huge tunneling worms that they train on.
Alright, okay, I don't remember if Skins knows this stuff. Would Skins know that the Dwindles have the Earth Primordial?
You understand that the Empire was trying to get there. I think, Godwin, did you specify what happened in the basement of Astrid before?
Yes.
Then you understand that Astrid was part of a group that was trying to figure out why and how gods and primordials could be bound to people to make them champions. So you know for a fact that if they don't have those primordials, then that means it's even more dangerous because multiple groups are doing it. And the current consensus right now is that they have binded their Volstrucker to these primordials.
Okay. So Skins understands that they might have some primordials on them, right?
Yeah, you understand that the Volstrucker of the Dwendalians do have primordials attached to them.
Okay. Skins is going to look at Halos and be like, in those two. I think it is under great consideration that the Dwindles might also have primordials with them as well. Because we were doing something with Godwin's brother, Fabian, and this gigantic worm sprouted from the ground with someone riding it.
I don't know how we can do anything about that. I don't think we have time to search and find individual Volstrucker. We may just have to deal with that when the time comes. Yes, they're going to be devastating, and yes, they will multiply our casualty rates, but there's probably a reason they haven't used them on the king already. If they were going to use the primordials to kill the king, they probably would have. So we just have to bank on the fact that maybe there's some reason they're not.
Let's hope that maybe our allies in the Cerberus Assembly has them instead.
I don't know.
But
Maybe.
that's wishful thinking.
You do recall seeing...
Alright, let's just keep that in mind.
Alden was recommended you by Luke, and you also saw a dwarf with embers in her skin in Astrid's tower. So maybe they have at least 2 of them. That is the idea, maybe.
Okay. Alright. I don't think there's anything else to plan. This is gonna be a long journey, but if we just plan things right and things go swimmingly, have to worry about the dwindles, and then we can focus on efforts on trying to stop the Aeorians if we have time. If we can't, then something's gonna happen, and whatever happens, it happens.
In the middle of this conversation,
So
you
many
get
things.
a sending message. As you're like, okay, how are we going to do this? We can hopefully get this done and possibly do this. You get yet another message, another oddity in this hectic day at this point, what was thought to be normal. And the message comes from Jolts, and he says, there's some wizard fellas here to talk to you. There's a lot of them. I don't know their names. Stop by Pomoflora. And the spell ends there.
All Jolts is gonna just perceive instead is just a loud grunt. And then that's it. And Skins is just gonna look at Halas and Rias. He stares at Rias a little bit, considering his words. And then for a moment he just shakes his head. We need to head to Pomoflora now. Jolts just sent me a message saying that there was a bunch of wizards at Pomoflora.
Halas will, at this point, squint his eyes slightly. Do you really think I need to go? Because any time I waste is time that could be better spent. But if it's worrying...
Skins is just gonna just shrug his head, and he's pacing back and forth for a moment, and then he just takes a moment, calms down, looks at Rias. If this is who I think it is, and if I'm correct, and as the old saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, Rias, would you come with us? See if these are Aeorians? If not, you can just come back and do whatever you gotta do.
Sure enough, man. Gather around, everybody that's coming with us. We're gonna go and stand outside, and I'll cast a spell for us. He's like corralling you like children on a school trip. And he'll head back outside and start casting
as Skins,
a teleport spell. What?
Yeah, as Skins is walking, Skins, as he's glaring down Rias. he's like sleeper agent vibes where he's like slowly resisting to put an arrow in his bag. No, that's
Will saves to not shoot him in the back of the skull. Either way, unless you guys have anything you want
I'm
to
making so many Black Ops references.
really quickly run around Menagerie for any particular reason, you guys are going to be teleported down to Pomoflora.
No.
Alright. Cast spell, finishes,
Yeah, I think we're good.
lights flash, cut you out of existence, and you reappear outside the keep of Pomoflora. Oddly enough, I don't think Rias has ever been here before, yet there was no seeming risk to him doing this. almost as if he's already been to the location. Well, you weren't there, maybe. And
Well, Skins already know this. He got the message that there was people here.
yeah, but maybe they just sent people, you know? Maybe they just sent criminals to go for him. But no, apparently he's been here personally. Either way, he will teleport
Skins
out,
just-
and as
Skins just
you do,
shrugs
you appear outside your keep. Some of the guards are startled, but they just prepare themselves for battle, and then note their prince amongst them, and cool back off. One of them from the outer gates wall shouts down, "Hey, Skins! Some people are inside. They kind of just pushed their way in here. They look like wizards. We didn't think we should stop them, especially if they know you. By the way, your circle and stuff is done. Like all the stuff you wanted."
Well, thank you for telling me. We'll get to that later. That's actually pretty quickly. How'd you guys get that done quickly?
We hired like a bunch of wizards. Not these guys. Different wizards. They came down and each of them cast the spell. Apparently there's some loophole where if you cast it 365 times in total, it works. I don't know anything about magic. You have to talk to Wordweaver. Oh, by the way,
good to
Wordweaver's
know.
back. Wordweaver's back down in town.
Does he have the thing with him? The weird contraption with him?
No.
Well, hopefully he's okay. Anyway, so Skins is gonna just walk. His hair getting more unfringed at this point, like you can see like hair is starting to stick out from like behind the cloak a little bit.
Alright. So are you walking inside the keep to talk to these wizards?
Yeah, boy.
Alright. You push your way inside past the first outer gate walls, push your way into the second, and into the large throne-like room section that you saw. It's obviously better now. It's not it's not damaged. There's a proper throne. It's still basically minimalistic and mostly defensively built at the moment. However, inside you know there are plenty of people. A lot of your elite goblin guards are up here. There's also a startling number of people at the throne area. There is your father, Kinslayer. You see Iridia is back. Henry is also there. They're like they're either side of your father. You also note, but more or less just congregating in front of him, is around 13 people. They're all wearing exactly the same cloak. And for a moment you're not sure, where have we seen these colors before? Where have we seen any of these sigils? And then you remember your short stay in Palebank. Not Palebank. I can't remember the name of that town right now. The place you went while you were in Aor.
Brokebank?
Nope, the place you went while you were in Aor. The place where you found Biel. I can't remember its name.
Balin Post.
Yeah, Balin Post.
Balin Post.
You went there, and you remember these sigils from there, and you feel in your magical bag, William does, and you pull out just a slight piece of fabric. These are all Cerberus Assembly members. Those cloaks you stole belong to these people. That's extremely worrying. However, Luke and Astrid are amongst them. They kind of just jointly turn around and look at you. Astrid and Luke kind of stepping forward slightly, but there's still a direct leader that they're behind. It looks like he's leading this congregation at the moment, if not consistently. And they walk over. The man in charge, he's a very non-distinct person. Elvish, long ears, silvery gray hair. You can't tell if it's from age or not because he looks relatively young. Reasonably thin, like most wizards are. And obviously either well-trained to be polite or just generally that way. He is obviously a very rich person, very high nose-up person, and he thinks he's better than you. You can just get that sense from how he walks up. And he's like, he doesn't even really look down at the goblin prince, and instead focuses on trying to find a human. And at that point, he just looks at Biel, the only real human here, even if he is something weird, which he doesn't quite know at this time. But he doesn't want to talk to anyone who isn't human. And that is clear, even though he himself is an elf. He looks at Biel.
Filthy leaf lover.
Welcome home. I'm glad to welcome you back after your extended time away. We have some business to discuss.
Okay.
You are one of the lords of this fine keep here.
I am.
Alright, then you'll do fine.
Ahem.
He just ignores you. He pauses for a second but ignores you. Alright then. So if you are one of the lords, you are the person I need to talk to about disposal of a few things. We want you to hold on to them. Or at least, not necessarily. We want you to take the blame for them. For us. It would be nice.
Why?
But
So then we can blame the menagerie? Obviously. You're a small town, no one can
what
guess,
is it
but also...
exactly?
He is not responding. You're cutting in. He's just talking over you. You're out in the boonies, so it's reasonable that someone could be assassinated out here. Yes.
Why do you think I would go along with letting you make us take the blame?
At that point, he just chuckles to himself. We're 13 of the most powerful wizards in the world. So of course you're going to take the blame. We will pay you if you agree to do it. Non-questioningly, though.
Oh no, we have a lot of questions exactly.
So, you don't want to tell me what I'm taking the blame for.
No, you're taking the
just
blame
saying-
for the deaths of 2 members of the Cerberus Assembly. And at this point, a few people start to look to each other. A few nods are exchanged. And you see the order of operations in the line they're in has him at the front, Astrid and Luke behind, and then a congregation behind them. And as he says that, 2 members on either side of Astrid and Luke clamp their hands down in a surprise motion. And you hear the congregation, more or less, all of them in a very whispered tone, like they're each individually trying to hide it. Just whisper, "Die." And you see Astrid and Luke expertly, without a missing beat, as highly trained as you could be in spellcraft, cast Counterspell. The congregation each has one member cast Counterspell to them, and surprisingly enough, actually Astrid manages to cast a second Counterspell. That is a legendary action. That is only the top of the line wizards of the world. Historical figures could do that, but she is in a congregation of also historical wizards. Another Counterspell is fired.
Who said that?
All of them. Every wizard here said die at once, and they're launching counter spells to try and counter at least a few of these spells. Maybe they're strong enough to survive one of them, or 2 of them. There's no reason to assume these people will instantly die. But they're
I have something that can help.
Do what?
I have something that can help with this.
Alright, what do you plan to do? Do you pull out something?
So Godwin sees them start casting spells, and wait 1 second.
Come on, Godwin, do your wizard tricks.
Dude,
Okay, I gotta look at this spell to make sure that I can do this.
I'm so confused on what's going on right now.
That's the point. This is a lot of things happening this
Yeah,
little
dude.
session here. So
I'm
basically, the line that's happened, it's a normal day, you just got back from the Feywild. The next day you wake up, you just go about your business. You go to talk to Caleb. First, Godwin gets followed. They have a fight with a Rias simulacrum that wasn't actually from Rias, apparently. And then he goes to Caleb, hands the sword over. Caleb tells him to talk to Halas, and then walks him back to the tavern. You walk to Caleb's tower once more, go and talk to Halas, realize Rias didn't send the simulacrum, get told that these Luke and Ashton are in danger, and there's probably going to be a coup within 2 months, where basically all hell is going to break loose in the Dwendalian Empire. And if you don't help and even the tide on either side, the entire place is going to collapse, and one or the other is going to take over, and then that's a really bad deal for the other empires, because there's no balance of power, and someone could just wipe a continent or an empire off with no questioning, more or less. After you learned of this, you then teleported to Pomoflora in order to do something. I'm not entirely sure personally myself why you went to Pomoflora, but you go to Pomoflora after being told that there are wizards here to meet you, which is one reason you went. These wizards happen to be Cerberus Assembly members, and apparently Asher and Luke were in more dangers than you thought, because they are immediately trying to be assassinated, and they brought them here so that the Menagerie has to take the blame for them being assassinated, in order to push the Cerberus Assembly's message that the king needs to double down on the war, because they're killing our valuable members of society. They're killing our very best. Of course we need to take these people out. So you were already starting to lose ground, and the Empire was pushing in slowly. They're trying to expedite that by killing 2 unwanted members of the Cerberus and using that as political power in order to expedite the murderation of the Menagerie. Anything in that didn't make sense?
Yeah.
You guys were gone for a while.
All things fall down.
Yeah, everything's happening at once, more or less. I did tell you, Phase 2 is going to go wild.
Trent,
Yeah.
I am correct in assuming that they are casting Power Word Kill, right?
Yes, at least half of the congregation behind them cast Power Word Kill. So,
Okay.
at least 5 people cast Power Word Kill on 2 people.
Okay, so that means that isn't that a verbal spell?
Yes, but they've already cast it.
Okay. And so would Astrid and Luke need to hear that spell in order to be affected by it?
Yes, but they already have. That was a surprise round. There's no way you can go back, unless you can somehow turn back time, and then do it.
Hey,
Decide on them?
actually, they can't be surprised. We can't be surprised.
You can't be surprised. You misunderstand the surprise effect. The surprise effect means that you won't have a round taken away from you in the start of combat. Meaning you can technically do that, but they took their round first. Instead of getting another round, basically instead of getting that round and then rolling for initiative, you will just go directly after them. They took their round first. Now it is Godwin's turn. But Godwin only has his reactions left, because if he waits till he gets his action, then they're already dead.
Okay. So if they can last until I have my action, I can save them 100%.
They are already dead by that point. Power Word kills instant. And they have too many people counterspelling their counterspells. Even with their legendary number of counterspells going out, there's 5 more just waiting to counterspell.
Okay.
You might be able to save one of them if all of you counterspell everything thrown against them, kind of thing.
We have 3 reaction spells. Some maybe if
You have Godwin
if
who
the
can
mages are here.
counterspell, William who can counterspell, and the other Williams aren't in the room. While the Williams are here, they're not in the room.
Rias is also here.
Rias is here, but he's here. He would counterspell if this is necessary, if you're doing this, but he's going to wait for you guys to choose who you want to counterspell for, because you have enough counterspells. If you all cast counterspell at the highest level you can, if you all cast counterspell at the highest level you can save Luke or Astra. The other will die.
Would
That's if the 5 don't
the
interfere.
wardens also be in here? I feel like the wardens would also be here. My wardens and also probably Word Weaver. If Word Weaver, I can understand if he's not here, but I feel like some wardens would be in here
Wardens
too.
would be in here. Once again, like I said, there is enough casters here. You could save one of them. But even with having wardens here, wardens are the rare type. They're one in a squad at most, kind of thing. There's probably 2 wardens here total. So that's 5 counter spells, once again. So you could end up saving Astrid or Luke. But you also have to deal with the counter spells of the 5 who haven't done anything.
Well, I mean, in character, Godwin's immediate reaction would be to save Astrid.
Then if you counterspell for Astrid, everyone has to counterspell for Astrid. It has to be unanimous, more or less. So, you all are going to counterspell for Astrid?
Alright, so here's how things are probably going to have to go. I think we can probably revive Luke.
If you get
Probably.
the opportunity.
As long as no shit happens, we should be able to revive him. Okay, we'll have to go. Okay, I honestly think I say we go for Astrid.
Yeah,
She is
I'm
obviously the
counterspelling
stronger
for
of the two.
Astrid. I'm counterspelling for Astrid.
Alright. You counterspell for Astrid, and everyone follows your lead. Near immediately, a wave of just untangling energy collides in between Astrid and the rest of the group. Counterspells, in the end, just always canceling each other out. There is no telling exactly who could win. If even one of the other members behind had the skill Astrid did, and they were able to use 2 reactions at once, undoubtedly they could win. But with just the sheer volume of weaker casters, you managed to cancel out enough where that Astrid is just barely held on. She is 1 extra counterspell away from the other side from returning to death. Luke doesn't have that possibility, and as he spins to counterspell, he gets washed over with a wave of death, and Death Ward activates, stopping him from dropping, and then yet again the second power word kill cast on him finishes him off. He immediately falls to the floor dead. Now, the real question is, do you want to get in a combat with these people? Because if you go any further than counterspell, they're going to go further than counterspell. And you'll actually have a fight with now 10 of the strongest people, or 11 of the strongest people in the wizarding world.
Okay.
So what are you all doing here?
My immediate prerogative
Okay.
is to save Astrid.
Well, Astrid's turn is going to
Yeah,
come
so, okay.
right after them. So that you're going to immediately have something happen. As soon as that happens, she's going to do something. But are you going to start drawing weapons?
Guys, I have silence. Should I cast that?
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
It would hinder Godwin and a lot of what I can do. But probably Nim too. But Biel would be okay. I would be partially okay. William would also kind of be okay because he can do a lot of damage.
I'll be partially
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, all my
So
damage spells are verbal and somatic, so...
Even if you do cover most of the area in silence, these are the strongest wizards and sorcerers, not many, maybe one of them at most is a sorcerer, but the strongest casters in the world. So if they get out of the silence for any reason, they can just dispel, anti-magic, instantly kill many of you. Like, instantly. You would have no... If one of them got out, at least one is dying each round. If you fight them. These are the people that you're building a whole clan for
Right.
with Halas to take down.
I am This is a vote for everyone. This is an important decision. Has to be unanimous. Nim, Biel, William, Godwin, what is your choice?
Are you going to fight these incredibly strong people that the entire menagerie and Kreen are working together to try and bring down? Right now, using silence as your best weapon.
How far away is Astrid from me? And are they blocking us?
There is a person blocking you. The guy who stepped forward, he is separating you from Astrid, and Astrid is probably in total 10 foot away, not very far at all. Because he's 5 foot gap, and she's right behind him. So, but you know it's more or less going to, as soon as this breaks out, she's going to get to go before they are. That's something you can tell.
Well, I know I can get to Astrid and get her out of there, but that leaves you guys without your wizard dealing with that. So do you guys think you can, like, get away in that situation? I don't even know if my turn is going to come quick enough to where I can save Astrid.
Astrid will get to go before you, so I figure she would save herself. Because right now, the order of it, because you can't be surprised, is all the Cerberus, Astrid, Godwin, and then it goes down the line for whatever.
Okay. Well, I guess we need to make our decision based on what Astrid does, because we can't really, like, talk to her at the moment.
So you're going to wait for, instead of drawing your weapons immediately and starting to be threatening, you wait for her response to this. In response to her nearly being killed and you saving her, the first thing she does, she casts teleport. And she teleports back to somewhere. You just see a light beam up around her personally, cut her out of existence immediately. Now it's Godwin's turn. What are you doing?
Okay. So, I'm not mistaken in thinking that Rias has another teleport, correct?
That depends if he used it earlier today while doing some research. Likely he does. Actually, how many people are in your party right now? Yeah, no, he still does. He does. You don't have any simulacrums to take, so yeah, he's good.
Okay. So I'm going to look at Rias and tell him we need a teleport. And then so I am 10 feet away, 5 feet away from a guy.
Yeah, there is a 5 foot empty space gap between you and the guy who had stepped forward as the leader of the congregation.
And he is the closest one to me.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to move out of counterspell range from him.
I don't think you can. That's 60
Yeah,
foot, right?
I have boots of speed.
Okay, so you bonus action click them together, right?
Yes.
And then run 60. Yeah, you would be 65 foot away, so that's just out of counterspell range.
Alright, and then I'm going to cast Mordekainen's Private Sanctum around just me and my group. Nobody else is enveloped in it.
How big is that? How big is Mordekainen's Sanctum?
I think it's like it can be as small as 5 feet or as big as 100 feet.
Okay, so you layer it where it's just in front of and circling around the last member of your party closest.
Yes.
While not touching anyone on the server side.
Yes. And the parameters for the barrier is that no sound can enter within the barrier.
Okay. That's your turn.
And
that's your action.
yeah, and yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can do, is there?
So does that mean you're all deafened while you're inside?
No, I'm just saying that no sound can enter the barrier, but sound can leave the barrier.
Okay, that makes sense. You do that, and immediately the barrier is drawn. Are the rest of you going to start combat? At this point, it's all protective spells. Nothing dangerous has happened. Nothing to the point where they might respond with even more dangerous spells. Are any of you going to actively combat? Like, throw your sword out and slash, or shoot a bow and arrow, or spell?
I'll tell everyone telepathically, don't draw your weapons. Just remain defensive as possible.
I don't know what to do.
Bro, I don't know, man.
Well, if we fight, we're
not fighting.
if we fight, we're gonna die. If we don't fight, we can like bamboozle our way out of this maybe.
I'm not fighting.
Alright. So your group pauses, takes a breath, waiting on the Cerberus to take their next move. At which point, they just stand there. You hear the one in the front just kind of grin, and he mouths something. You can tell he isn't even speaking. He knows he can't pass sound through it, seemingly at a glance. But he is mouthing words towards you. Any of you have the observant feat for some unknown reason?
I don't.
Alright then. You don't know what he's saying, but you can tell that he's like grinning at you guys and just talking.
No.
I mean, I could have my crow out there and see what he's saying with the.
Sure you want to start casting more spells?
No, I already have Find Familiar out.
Oh.
And I didn't cast it. It's
So-
just there.
You want to just throw your bird outside the barrier to hear what he's saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
As you throw the bird out, he stops mouthing and actually starts talking. And he'll just talk to the bird, and what he'll say is, "Don't need to worry about us. We're not going to kill you. We have no reason to. Not like you're dangerous. Either way, it is a shame that you chose to assassinate two. Right now, one." He like grins at that. Member of the Cerberus Assembly, and you threw him into the ocean too. Terrible people you are. And at this point, a member of the Cerberus Assembly
Squawk, bitch!
throws Luke over his shoulder, the corpse of Luke, and they're going to try and walk through your barrier. Is there any reason they shouldn't be able to walk through your barrier?
No, there's nothing keeping them from going in there.
Then they just start to walk out the building. They just start walking
Squawk,
away.
bitch!
So unless you're going to do anything to stop them as they walk outside, they just leave.
I'm assuming they're taking the body.
Yeah, they pick up Luke and start to walk out the building.
Okay, we need to get we need to get his body like soon.
You can follow them as they leave. They don't really care that you're following them, or even watching what they do. And you see that they walk out and just walk toward the spiky rock section next to Palmaflora. What would make this a difficult place to traverse to large ships.
Yeah.
And you see they
Yeah,
go
I
out to the ocean.
I have.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been following them with my crow.
yeah.
Like, just my crow's just like, my crow looked like it left to just go fly around, but it's actually just keeping on. I'm like a eagle's eye.
As you walk over to the ocean, you see another figure, something that wasn't there as you walked inside the keep. This figure obviously came here during the time you entered, knowing something would happen. It's one you've seen before, once again. This time it looks to be an elvish woman wearing like a cloak that would hide her identity or something. You know who they are, though. Their cloak is down right now. Something adventurers often wear to ward off rain or arrows in combat. They're wearing leather armor, and you circle around in the air, and you see the head move slightly, as if following the bird, though you know there's no ice in this socket. She's carrying a staff that seems to be dripping with water. You're not sure how she would have dipped it in the water here. She's more than 100 foot away from the water. It's a far drop. But she stands there, and the servants walk up behind her, and one of them throw Luke's body, which tumbles several times, scraping against the rock a few times even. but gets swallowed up by a wave. And she raises her staff slightly, and you see what looks like the giant maw of a megalodon, but made purely of water and ice, come and eat Luke's body. And you understand that that is her primordial, a giant water elemental that can change shape, who has just taken and drugged Luke's body, probably to the middle of nowhere in the ocean. She then turns around and the Cerberus gather up, 2 of them casting teleport spells, and they disappear.
Okay, Trent, what you didn't see
Squawk, bitch!
is that before they killed Luke, I actually teleported over to Luke and put a tracking device onto him.
I don't know about that one, man.
No, we're good. We good. We good.
And also, I have a spell called Kill Water Primordial.
Yeah,
For sure. I agree. That spell seems like a fun one to have.
I have a spell called Hammer of Dawn, and it kills it immediately. Anyway.
But yes, that happens.
Skin sees Right, Skin sees them disappear. Fuck, we need to find his body. We need to find his body. How do we get his body? He's in the ocean. Skin is gonna look at William. You have something in mind, right? You have whimsical tricks.
Huh?
You're a whimsical boy.
William, I know that your plans are always crazy, but they work. So rack that brain of yours and think of a plan.
You see, he's concerned over what you're doing. To find his body? What crazy thing do you want me to do? I don't know, locate objects or something he was wearing.
Anything that could, bring a body here, or, just something, find it, I don't know.
If I had one of my other Williams, I could wish him back. I don't know.
There are other Williams in here, by the way. Like, the Williams are here.
Oh, my other Williams are here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just followed.
Well, actually, I can do it. Do you guys want me to wish to get him back here, or like?
I don't see it. Often.
Alright.
Also, wait, can I bring Jolts in here? Because he can help.
You run off to find Jolts.
Okay,
Actually, Nim definitely has diamonds. She can do it, and she's probably the best bet.
Yeah, they're definitely better than Jolts.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
You have a cleric on the
Nim.
team. I need to go get other goblins, actually.
Well, I didn't want to waste anything, but it's important, so.
Well, I will have the Williams. I'll go get my Williams.
Okay, you go and find your Williams, who are not too far inside the keep at the moment.
William 3. Alright.
Inside here, please.
Yes, I know.
Skins tries to like.
Alright, William 3. Do your thing, man. And he will wish for Luke's body to be back here. Exactly the exact phrasing that Godwin said for his keep to be spawned on us, but with Luke.
I wish Luke's body to return to me, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly how Godwin said it to his keep.
Wait, no. Specify which Luke, okay? So we don't just spawn some
Cerberus
random
Assembly.
dude named Luke.
The Luke from Cerberus Assembly
Yeah.
that just died.
Okay. The Cerberus Assembly, Luke Bernardo, I wish returned to me. You are going to roll a 33% chance to never be able to cast again, first.
Okay.
For that, William.
Yeah, for that one specifically.
Yep. There we go. Discord.
I'll be back.
Trent, what did you think of that picture I sent?
What, you
Do I
mean
look
the
nice?
insane man picture in the right-hand side?
Yeah.
Trent 98.
98, you're good. you are that guy is exhausted a few times because you did have to do several lines of words there to make it specific. But he is exhausted. I would just say once. You then have Luke's body immediately appear, and you realize, wow, this isn't going to be as easy as I thought, because his body is torn to shreds. You see his limbs are cut into at minimum of 3 segments at each joint. His head is rolled off of the rest of his body. Most of his torso is like the front is carved open, and many of the bones are broken. The corpse looks like it was just like carved, like someone took a huge sword and just cut it up as much as they could, like mincemeat, and strewn it about. You got the corpse of Luke Bernardo in its extremely mangled state.
What's that one spell that regenerates? Isn't it just called regenerate?
Yep, I
Regenerates
think
all
it's
your
7th level, if I think correctly.
I think Animate Dead helps as well. Like, Animate Dead helps. But he gets a penalty for it.
Yes, but you also keep in mind, I think a lot of those require the body to be whole.
I think that's enemy dead. Reincarnate, just not
You could
reincarnate.
reincarnate.
Right. Or we could do regenerate, either one.
No, regenerates specifically for living things, actually.
Oh. Well,
Like,
then we
you
have to
can't regenerate a whole body with regenerate.
Then we kind of have to reincarnate, can't we?
Yeah, reincarnate's like...
Wait, no,
unless
it's
you
not.
can
It's
repair
it's
this
not.
body.
It's not Animate Dead. It's Raised Dead. It's Raised Dead. I'm thinking of.
Yeah, animate dead would make him a zombie.
I think we still have to do reincarnate. Entirely to bring all his body parts back together.
Do any of you have any way
Actually,
to reincarnate this fella?
Another wish. Like, actually, only way we
I mean,
could do
yeah,
it.
that's true.
I think that's the only. I don't think anyone has.
Unless.
Reincarnate, though.
So wait, hold on. So we can't revive him because his corpse is all mangled, right?
We have
Yes.
to reincarnate.
Unless you have a way to repair the corpse, things like raise dead / revivify require the corpse to be whole.
Yeah. Yeah, unless Nim has Raised Dead, which is a 5th level spell slot. She can.
Raise dead works if your body's separated into several pieces.
Yeah. It.
Let me look that up. I don't think that's right.
I'll look at it.
Why did you say it without looking at it?
Bro, look at that first.
Nah, it
The
works.
spell.
Sure.
The spell closes all mortal wounds.
Close.
The spell closes all mortal wounds, but it doesn't restore missing body parts. If the creature is
no.
lacking body parts or organs eternal for its survival.
It would die. So
Yeah, and
you would,
what's missing?
you would not. His body. He doesn't
His
have
entire-
all of his
everything.
limbs. He doesn't have his head. He doesn't have most of his internal organs. They are mushified.
We have to reincarnate.
So if you do
I
that,
have
he
mending.
would
Okay.
come back to life, and immediately his corpse would die again. He would be a
Like you
headless
said.
corpse, you know.
You know what you said?
Godwin has mending.
Yeah, I
We
had
could
mending.
mend it. We could mend it all together.
That will for sure work. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just do it, Damon. That's all we got.
Okay. Reincarnate. Another.
I'll roll it.
Roll another. Wait, you don't have to roll that. Never mind.
Hit the spell.
All right. So you reincarnate Luke Bernardo using yet another wish. How many
Wait, Sean,
wishes
can
do
I-
you have left?
William 3 would now have only 1. William 4 has 1, and William 5 has 2. So in total 4.
God, he has a lot of wishes. left.
Sean, can I please roll? Because I'm the one doing all this. I
But
want
you
to
already-
roll.
You already
Man,
rolled.
I'm
You
the
rolled.
one
You rolled a
doing
D100. I want to roll. Fine, do it. I'll look it up and I'll tell you what you get.
Why is the
By the
first
way,
one I'm
you do
looking
have to do it. Okay, has any of you actually done a reincarnation ritual yet?
for?
Yes.
No, because
No.
you only did the
Yeah, we did.
dust. You did the dust,
That's-
right?
We didn't. No,
we did
Yeah,
the dust of
we didn't.
Incarnate.
We also with Nim, and we also did it with Nim.
Yeah, the dust with them though. You didn't have any other rituals yet.
A 40 is a wood elf.
Okay.
He's a wood elf.
Keep in mind, we are going to have to go through the checks because with the reincarnation dust, it foregoes the checks. In this case, we have to do that. So
He will turn into a wood elf.
you cast Wish to immediately try and reincarnate Luke Bernardo next to his own mangled corpse. And as you do so, you know that the weave of Arcana around the area pulsates, and you start to actually almost see the very web of fabric. It's the fabric of the weave itself. The web stretched across all space and time, and you can almost feel like thin strings of it that your hands pull as you cast the Wish spell.
Oh, wait, we didn't have to cast Reincarnate.
What?
What?
We can cast Resurrection, which
True
helps.
Resurrection, you mean? That's a ninth.
No,
level.
it's just Resurrection, 7th level. It's
Oh.
no 7th level.
What's that do?
Here's the spell closes all mortal wounds and restores any missing body parts. Coming back from the dead is an ordeal. The target takes a -4 ability to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. Every time the target finishes a long rest, the penalty is reduced to 1.
Okay, so are you going to cast? You can cast either of those. I will not make you change his
would
body
rather
if you
do
don't want to.
Action. And let
Well-
him rest for 3 or 4 days.
Why? Well, okay, so does it go away after a couple of days?
Yeah, the
After
exhaustion
4
does.
days.
No, I'm talking about the penalty to his
Yeah.
ability.
Yeah.
scores.
Oh yeah, it goes every long rest. Every
Oh,
long rest.
Okay.
He
So,
does.
but
So do you want to
Resurrection-
change
He has
his
to take-
race?
he
or
has
keep
to s-
him-
I'd
He has to
rather
sleep
do
4
Resurrection.
days in a row to get rid of it.
I'd rather try Resurrect because this is a because Reincarnate we have a chance of coming back.
Okay. So you resurrect them instead of reincarnate them, drawing their actual body together. Either way, you will still basically feel almost the exact same sensation. The weave of the fabric, you just start pulling like the webs, more or less, and gathering them in your hands. And you sense dead spaces form where you're pulling them with how much magic you're forming, but they immediately get refilled. Like a very, very persistent and fast spider is refilling those webs, though thicker ones still are harder to pull and also harder to repair. And you start to form them together, to form like a cocoon over this lifeless corpse, and you hear it begin to stitch back together to the best of its ability. This is a hard thing to pull off. Coming back from the dead's an ordeal, some might say it, in the words of the spell itself. But also the caster has to have an extreme connection to the weave itself, in some way or the other, usually in a clerical sense, of the divine. You don't have divine powers, and that's why you're relying on the weave to do this wish. But also, you are not used to this and never have done it before, and it is a very hard process. I need you, instead of having any raised dead where you make checks to try and convince them to come back, or something along those lines. In this case, I need you to try and do it. So you're going to have to make, since you're casting with charisma, 3 charisma checks, passing a higher DC each time, and if you fail even one of them, the spell will fail.
Just a charisma check, so I just use my charisma bonus.
Yes, charisma check 3 times. The first DC is going to be 11. The second is going to be 14.
it's
and the
one-
third
one at
is
a
going to be
time.
16.
One at a time. So I need a 13.
You need 11 first, 14
11
second,
first.
and 16.
Okay. Any of them fail. Wait, what was the last one that I need to get?
16. You have to pass all of them. If you fail even one, then Luke is dead. Why do you have so many dots in your tray like that?
I don't know, bro. I don't have space for the box.
Come on, that Eldritch Eye staring at you, Damon.
What is that? That's a natty 19.
Alright, the first one succeeds. You see the limbs under the webbing that you've created start to snap back to the loose torso.
What's the second DC I need to make? 'Cause that was
14.
11, 13. I thought it was 13 or 14.
Oh,
14?
no, 14.
I don't-
It was
It's 14.
definitely 14.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 14.
That's a natural 20.
All right, you're good.
Natural 20.
You see the torso itself knit back together, the bones snapping back into place, the skin starting to come back together, the internals straightening themselves back out.
My mom bought these for me. My mom bought me these. And I didn't know she was.
Got
It
the
was a
mom
gift-
dice. Let's
it was
go.
a gift for me. Mom, you need to roll a 9. 11.
11.
That makes an 18.
The
That
head
makes an 8.
rolls back and snaps back into place. The body is whole yet again. And you see the weave itself, the webbing, begin to snap and break and be absorbed into Luke's body before exploding outwards, like a cotton candy machine gone wrong, more or less. And then the weave becomes invisible to you once more, and you go back to your normal state of being. No heightened power like that. And you see Luke open his eyes extremely groggily. Like, he has no idea what just went on, more or less. And he looks around very quickly.
He has full hit points, by the way, so he's healthy.
Yeah, he's healthy. Welcome back. But Luke snaps his eyes around looking for, obviously, a threat he just died from. And then breathes a little bit. And just kind of lays there. Doesn't really move. He seems very stiff. Even if he did come back, his ability scores are far lower. And he has exhaustion points, so...
No, he doesn't have any exhaustion. He just has that penalty.
Oh, I thought it was exhaustion too. Well, either way, his points are lower. His ability scores.
No, he just has a -4 penalty.
Yeah.
Yep.
He just
Right.
kind of lays
So
there for a
Skins
little
is
bit,
going to
looking at
immediately
the
walk
glass.
over. Yeah, Skins is going to go over to him, gently crouch next to him, look up at William, and you see across Skins' face a smile, a proud smile. The unhinged skins kind of calmed down a little bit after all today, but this slight moment, he's back in his normal state and he's proud at William.
Even though William 3 did the casting, you see William 1 looks tired, and the golden streak in his hair, progressing from it, more of his hair right from the edge of the tip starts becoming gray. Again.
Well,
Alright, that's where...
that is, quite a surprise. I'm assuming either Astrid had the same fate as I did, or she got away somehow.
She got away. You, however, weren't so lucky, but we brought you back! Okay, you need to stay away from the Dwendalian Empire. I recommend going to Alossus Tower. If you don't know where that is, it's somewhere in Nicodranus. It's the big tower in Nicodranus. Is it Nicodranus?
Yes.
Am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure, I might
can
try
have.
and do that.
I can have. If you have any way to protect yourself from scrying magic, I recommend doing that. And then Skins is going to look at William. All right. They're going to blame Palma Flora for your death, and I'm hoping that that's probably going to cause a lot of complications. So if you can, Luke, try and help the Menagerie as much as you can.
Well, the Empire hasn't done me very good, has it? Sure, I will stick around. I can protect myself with scry magic, and he pulls a necklace out from under his coat. His mangled body was still wearing it, even if his neck was severed. Almost like it was magically bound to the body itself. And it is a necklace you've seen Volstrucker wear before, when you fought them. Like, you know that Oscar had one of these when he was with you. It is obviously one of those anti-scrying amulets they pass around. They have a usual number of charges a day that they can resist scry magic. I think I'll stay here instead of head to Colossus Tower. This is, like you just said, probably the front lines from any naval standpoint.
Okay. Then just rest a bit. You seem a bit tired. Just stay safe. And then Skins is going to get up, and then walk over to William and gently pat his shoulder. You okay?
Yeah, just I could take a nap.
Skins is going to look at Nim and's like, nod her over, and then if Nim decides to come over, Skins will say, check his vital signs, because you probably had more medicine than us.
Who were you trying to get them to check? It was real vague.
William.
Okay.
I'm getting Nim to check William's vital signs because I don't know. I'm worried he's dying.
Sure, but okay.
Sure, but that guy was dead 10 minutes ago. Not even.
Should we remember the person that just tired and the person that just died?
To do both, you know what? Just do both.
Make a medicine check.
Okay.
Let me get back again.
Fuck you. Bro, as soon as this ends, I'm finna go and like get some McDonald's.
At 10 o'clock at night?
Bro, yeah.
I'm gonna get McDonald's, bro.
I'm hungry. Trent, you want some?
No, McDonald's sucks.
Yeah, you worked at McDonald's, didn't you?
Yeah.
Bro, that sucks. I'm sorry, Bubba.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry you had to.
But you can check them either way. Basically, no matter what you roll, there is next to nothing wrong with them. Like they are technically perfect health, except for the fact that you know that he has real stiffness in his joints. Our boy Luke does, and William just seems tired. Like maybe exhaustion point at most, but he just seems regularly tired.
Can I hit William over the head with a rock?
Why?
Oh,
Yes, you can hit.
bro, why'd you do that?
No, for real though.
I can't believe you've done this.
Can I cast Identify on that ring real quick while we're waiting on Skins to
It
get
is
returned?
a ring of seeming.
A ring of seeming?
Yes, it is. It allows you to cast seeming, and then there's also a second use that can stack with the first, but it costs charges. There's a certain number of charges on it, and it is also a ring of disguise self.
Oh.
So you can. It has a total of 3 charges. For 2 charges you can cast seeming, or for 1 charge you can cast disguise self. It is non-attunement,
Not a tune.
so you can basically use that for free.
Do they return during daylight or whatever?
Yeah, every new day. I was like, what does that mean? But yeah, every new day.
Yeah, sorry, I worded that like a caveman.
When the old light comes back. Why not say that like the BO2 COD zombie guy?
See, as you guys are all doing this, however, you also get there's still someone here that isn't normal, and not too far away. They're waiting kind of like patiently more than you would have expected from someone who is obviously yet again a wizard, though seemingly one who isn't recognized by the others that were here. You see just a figure who's wearing a cloak, yet again, not like wizard robes, of course. Yet again, this one seems to have the colors of the Shore Wardens at best. There isn't any other organization you would know. Maybe the Monk Academy, but they're standing also next to your father, as the others were, but they didn't move and didn't do anything during this exchange. Didn't even cast counterspell for you or anything. They're just kind of standing there waiting for you guys to finish all your emotional stuff.
No.
You see one more figure standing
What's
next to your
happened?
father. It's another wizard who's standing here, but he seemingly is just watching patiently and literally did 0 actions. Didn't help, didn't negate, didn't do nothing. He was just standing there watching. He's looks to be a man wearing heavy wizard robes and has the colors of the menagerie on them. Relatively young, you could say, but his hair and most of his face and body is obscured by his robes.
Does he have bandages?
You're not sure? You can't tell. He has his cloaks on.
Does he have bandages on his hand?
You could go ask him if he has bandages. He's just standing there watching you guys have an emotional moment.
So
what do you look like?
So what was the vital signs of Ever? What was good?
They're fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're what you can expect from the spells.
The pro was just exhausted and just tired.
Okay. Skins is going to look at the wizard who just appeared, or was he here the entire time?
He's been here. He just hasn't. He's been so inconsequential that you could not pay attention to him. Like he was either purposely trying to hide himself by being unmoving and uncaring, or that's just how he is. Just standing in the corner, did literally nothing, and he wasn't important enough for you to pay attention to during that moment.
Okay. Skins is going to look at him and just like tilt his head a little bit. You wear the menagerie colors. I'm assuming you're friendly.
His voice is...
Is he just standing next to my dad?
Yeah, he's standing in front of the chair like the rest were, but he didn't come forward whenever they marched. It was hard to even tell he was there because of how many was marching forward towards you. But he'll respond in a very calm tone, like, in a way that I can't quite replicate. Very almost monotonous, obviously very relaxed, even for the situation that just took place. Almost like he didn't care for the danger and was willing to die. Yeah, I'm calm, for sure. I am here to help. There is no reason to worry about me. I'm not going to attack you.
What's your name?
My name is Kodoro.
Okay, yeah, what's
I'm
your name?
from Shore Wardens.
I knew it!
He like pulls down his cloak to show you his face a little bit more. There is a plan, of course, which we figured would take 2 months from now. I was the second line to tell you. Though I believe, since you're talking to Rias there, you've talked to Halas already. I am one of the heads of this snake that we're building, this Hydra we're building. We're specifically the infiltration and distraction squads. Me and my people plan to hide bombs around the city. I'm here specifically. I was here specifically to warn you, but now I'm here to inform you that Astrid likely teleported to her tower.
Wait.
Wait on what?
I was just saying, like, bombs around the city. Like, what do you mean? Like the Dwendalian city or in Palma Flora?
No, the Dwendalian city during the attack. You also see something that obviously is part of his get-up that he was not wearing at the time. Sitting next to the throne of the king, likely taken off of him by Henry or Iridia, is a massive axe. He's still carrying that thing. Massive axe sitting sitting behind the throne.
Is still wielding it. The mighty wizard.
He has it. He ain't wielding it at the moment, but he has it. Either way, I was here to tell you about the attack. Well, goodbye, I guess.
I'd like to hear your story sometime, because I don't know, you kind of just appeared and now I'm interested. Are there more of you people? Because it can't just be you alone.
No, I have a group of friends that I've been working with for a while at this point. We're the ones who negotiated with the Crane. You're real suspicious asking all these questions.
No, No, you
I
can
don't-
ask any of my friends. If I meet someone new, I ask their name. That's just a thing I do.
I don't remember your old character's name. I know there was Zal, right? I don't remember the rest of them. Yeah, that was Paul. There's Paul. Paul's there.
Faye. Was it Phelan?
Phelan.
Was it Phelan?
Oh, it's Phelan. Phelan's his ex-wife.
Phalif, and then Orion.
Yeah, there
But,
is.
before you
he
say
just
that,
goes off
we
a
shall
little
take a
bit.
small.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. We should take a small break because Eden and Chase are not here, and I want those two to fucking hear this shit.
Yeah.
Especially Chase. 'Cause
Sure. But he will list off those names to you and then say, well, my only business here right now, since the coup apparently is already closer to completion or starting than we believed, is, I guess, to tell you
they
that
gotta
if
go. No.
they already
Yeah,
left.
they left.
If
I didn't
were a
know-
wizard,
I didn't know they
I would
left.
teleport back
Like
to
lifetime.
my towers. So I believe Astrid's likely there, meaning, unless whatever you plan to do, and whatever you came here for, is so important that you would rather risk Astrid's life, I recommend we take on the Empire before continuing on to whatever your plan is. That's my 2 cents.
I came here for Palmaflora to get one thing that I think would be very beneficial for me. And then Skins is going to walk up to his father and it's like, do you have that beacon? Is it still here?
Yeah, I do actually. We did have actually another set of Drow visitors about that. Apparently they found it, or they heard about it, or someone told them. I'm not entirely sure, but a few people showed up and they said, hey, it's cool with us if you keep it. We're not affiliated with the Kryn Dynasty. However, that's interesting to know. It was real vague and suspicious, but they walked off. But yeah, we still have it, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, I'm going to take it on this, and I'm going to most likely be useful for me on my journeys. To do this, it's just a big thing for me. I don't know if I'm going to come back, but I have a feeling that thing will be my lifeline.
Alright then. Sounds to me though like you have a decision you're gonna have to make. Huddle with your people. This is probably a big one. Are you going to rush in early, or try and figure out whatever you're doing now? If I were you, I would take it slow. Let the big players make their move. But I'm not you, and you are, from what I can tell, one of the big players now.
So I'm assuming the options are we go to Isocross to get the thing and we leave. And then we come back.
Well, your choices at the moment are, and Kotaro speaks back up, go and do whatever you're doing, apparently Isocross, do whatever you need up there, come back, and maybe while you were gone the world burned, or we take on the Dwindles as soon as possible, gather our squads as soon as possible, and try and save Astrid and deal with the problem before it gets any worse.
Okay, we'll go to Isocross first because if what Godwin says is true, then it'd help us in the long run. If we still have the 2 months, I feel like we can go up there and come back fast because there is a teleportation. We just have Godwin. We just need Godwin to inscribe it. Or if we're really going for time, we could just go back to Alos's tower, maybe even Luke's tower. But I don't know. I don't know if that's a safe bet.
And
So-
I think the final reminder of this session is Kotaro is going to very clearly state to you, we thought we had 2 months before they started trying to fight Luke and Astrid. We thought we had 2 months time before they would make any big moves and we could hold on to them. We don't know their time frame or even have a guesstimate of it anymore. They could attack tomorrow and wipe Palmaflora off the map. They could kill Astrid today, if we're unlucky. They could do anything. The coup could happen, the king could be dead by the end of the month, by the end of the week. in 3 days. We have no idea what's going on anymore. Our intelligence suggested 2 months, but maybe they expedited the process for some reason or another. And I think to have you guys think on that, and to think on this decision, and because Eden and Chase aren't here to conversate any further, we will close this session today there. And next session we'll pick up with your decision.